That's what I'm talking about. What is going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome. You didn't just hear me rush right over to my book case, remembering that I needed to actually pull out my rule books today. That didn't just happen. What just happened was the end of the Talisman video and me in a very smooth and clear transition, moving right over to saying hi to everybody. Welcome, everyone, to episode 396. Oh, that's what it is. It got good. Arvini got good. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, thanks, Triffett. I knew it was something. Like, what the hell's my own emo? Anyway, welcome everybody to episode 396 of Pen and Pixels. I am your host, Arvin Elleron. This is the show that focuses on story and narrative in games and is doing so today with a campaign which is moving into the home stretch of Talisman Adventures. I am very excited to be joined by the GOG crew. It has been almost 2 months, actually, since our last session of this game. So we were all talking about in the green room before the game that we are all like really pumped to get started, and we're all like, does everyone remember what was happening? And I think we basically do. It has a lot to do with gargoyles. Gargoyles are a big sort of associate with that. So we'll have to think about those. And we have, I believe, 2 of them left, if I am not mistaken. But we'll talk more about that in a minute. Before we get any further, yes, thank you, Darth Sisso, I did get good. Before we get any further, just a quick reminder about way to support us here on GOGCOM's Twitch channel. If you haven't done so already, please follow us here on the channel. Please check out, if you can, and subscribe to us here on GOGCOM's Twitch channel, because that supports all of us and it gives you those custom emotes to use everywhere across Twitch. And if you haven't done so already, please consider clicking through to our individual channels, because we have our own subsystems and Patreons and things like that that are also helpful as well. I will mention very quickly that I am not going to be streaming on this channel next week. I have got a stream, actually a stream and a half, one stream and one shorter stream going on next Tuesday on my own channel, and then I'm going trick-or-treating / handing out candy and stuff with the kids because it's Halloween next Tuesday, and then I will be back on my own channel late for some awesome Edgar Allan Poe reading stuff next Tuesday the 31st. So the next time you'll see me on this channel will be in 2 weeks, when I'll be back here with a little bit more of Solasta and stuff like that. Oh, nope, not Solasta, actually. Not Solasta. I think we can officially mention that I'll ask Pyron whether I'm allowed to announce the game that I may be streaming. I need to double check and make sure. So I will not say it yet until I confirm with Pyron in just a moment. But it's going to be awesome. You will see. So that's going to be happening. Edgar Allan Poe. Yes. Listen, if I could be associated with that guy, one of the best short story writers of all time, I'd be okay with that. But before we go any further now, I'm going to head back over to the crew. So I'm going to unmute myself and apologize to them for accidentally interrupting them because I couldn't hear them. And then I'm going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to head over to reveal the crew. That is correct. The entire D&D with GOG Talisman Adventures crew is finally back. They are back, and they have arrived and all that good stuff. Just before I introduce everybody, Pyron, I just wanted to ask, am I allowed to announce the game that I'm going to be streaming that in 2 weeks? Can I do that? Okay. So yes. I'm going to be streaming.
Because it already has a coming soon page on GOG.
Okay. I saw the coming soon page, but I didn't know. Okay. So I'm really excited about this, chat. So in 2 weeks, I won't be streaming on GOG next week because of Halloween. But the week after that, I'll be back here streaming Tintin Reporter Cigars of the Pharaoh. Let's go. I am a huge Tintin fan. I have all the Tintin books. I read all the Tintin books to my kids, and I'm finally going to get a chance to actually play a Tintin game on stream. So I'm doing the release stream of Cigars of the Pharaoh, and the incredible, amazing people from Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is 3 of these folks plus Ananda, were kind enough to push back the time for Ghosts of Saltmarsh so I could do this release stream. So I'm very excited about that. I'm going to be doing that. Once I finish the game, I will go back to Solasta, Palace of Ice. Fear not. I'm still having a great time with that game, but I have to do Tintin. I'm super pumped about it. I hope it's good. It looks good. So anyway, that's going to be happening coming up in 2 weeks. But this week, we have got Talisman Adventures, and I am very excited to see how people handle some gargoyles, starting with the amazing leader of the GOG stream team, and that, of course, is Pyron Jade right below us. It is good to see you, Pyron. How is everything doing? How are you feeling in terms of health? Hale and hearty, nothing bad happening, all that kind of good stuff. How are you doing, and who are you playing today?
Hello, all wonderful people. So it was actually my fault that the Talisman Adventures we had planned for September 19th did not happen, because I managed to break my toe before that, and I just couldn't sleep properly after that. And it was like, I can't play through the night. I can't just, no way. I was just
Yep.
broken. So
She couldn't toe
between
the line,
then,
is what she's saying. She couldn't toe the line. Just
between then and now, I actually broke the same toe a second time, but it is healed now, and I'm doing fine. So it we're back. We're back.
although the way
And I hit
Pyron
my
described
microphone.
that though, chat initially was it's currently fine. So we're just like, for how
Yes,
long before you break it again is the key.
I currently don't have a broken toe,
Okay,
so that's the whole truth of it.
awesome.
And yes, I'm playing Regina Augusta III, who actually was having a really nice night out, interesting people, cool stuff to buy, everything was fine, and then suddenly parts of buildings attacked. So there was that. And let's see how the night continues.
Yes, that's pretty much exactly what happened, and I can't wait to see what the reaction is going to be from people like Regina. Although we actually have not one but two flying characters in the game to start the combat. Regina, who always flies, but somebody else who we'll get to. But in any case, it's a pleasure to have Pyron with us, unbroken and back with us. Moving right on down the line is the amazing and awesome Darksaber 2K. It is good to see you, Darksaber. I hope all is well. How is life and the universe with you, sir? And who are you? And actually, what's the? Oh, is that the what's the shirt? You've worn this shirt before, right? What
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it? The
recycle your droids.
recycle droids? Yeah. Okay, I've seen that before. It's such a good shirt. Anyway,
It's more of a multiple shirt, I think, but
yeah. I mean, well, yeah. How are you doing? How's life in the universe with you? And who are you playing today?
I'm good, thank you. I've managed to squeeze in a quick release play of City Skylines 2 before the session tonight, so that's been me for that. And
Was it good?
a lot of
Are
boulders.
you
Oh,
happy with it?
it's very, very good so
Is it?
far. From what I've seen, barely scraped the surface. There's a lot of new stuff to look at in there,
Mhm.
like research trees and things. But yeah, also a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. It's basically any spare. If I have longer than an hour spare, Baldur's Gate 3 is going on at the moment because it's a long game, and I do not have that much spare time outside of streaming anymore. So yeah, that's been that. But tonight we'll be doing tabletop for real, and I'm going to be back as a Reginald Shoon, Ghoul Druid. And yeah, he had been accompanying Lump to a nice festival. You know, come see this nice tradition that we've got going on, and we participated in the quaint tradition of the exchange. And then it started raining rock monsters.
It did occur to me: is this festival you've encountered so far anything like Bloodstock, Saber, that you've been to? Like, is there, do you
Now
get
the
attacked by
gargoyles have
gargoyles?
shown up.
Okay, yeah.
It's definitely starting to resemble it.
Yeah, because I imagine the whole thing, if I could get away with it, we'd have to play just nothing but any kind of metal that we could play without being utterly demonetized. Feels very metal, this festival. But anyway, always a pleasure to have Saber with us. Thank you as always for Dashboard and Moobot. Moving right on down the line, great pleasure to have Peripheral Mike with us, who has been quite the busy bee. If you have not been following Mike, you should be. Mike's Discord is super active. Mike is posting videos. Mike is up on Twitch all the time doing awesome stuff, playing games, a lot of which I can't watch because they scare me. But then I watch some when I can because Mike's a good dude. So you should all be following and checking Mike out. Mike, how is everything with you? How's stuff been with the awesome video content and all that, and as you continue to develop furthermore the streaming profile, and who are you playing today?
It's going really well. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's going really, really well. I finally found a really good niche for creating content and streaming. So I'm streaming very regularly now. I've already seen it works much better for me to stream on regular days rather than just as and when and piecemeal. And it also works for the community as well. People now know where to find me, when to find me, Monday and Friday, 6 till 9 UK time. I say UK time because it's going to change soon. I hate it when clocks change because I always forget for about 3 weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going really, really well. I've also got a really good scheduling tool now because my brain, I can turn up and make the content, right? I can do the talkie and the jokes and the funnies and the jump scares and all this sort of stuff. It's after that point I lose interest, and I'm just like, actually turning that into YouTube stuff and pushing that to social media, I'm just like, it's just a bit of a void to me. But I actually sat down properly with a couple of people in the current position I'm in at the moment, and we traded some ideas and we collaborated a little bit, and we decided there's a good set of tools that we can use to make our lives a lot easier. So I'm now using those. So I've now got scheduled videos and releases on YouTube from now until Christmas, to be
Nice.
honest with you. But yeah, so it's going really well. And somebody coined the term wholesome horror for the channel recently. And I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I think of that? So yeah, so it's actually trying to answer the question, is it actually scary, or do they just put the label horror on a video game?
Yeah,
just
is
to
there like a
sell it?
cozy horror? Is there like,
Uh,
you know, like, because I
yeah,
love
sort
spooky
of.
around Halloween, but like
Yeah.
scary, I don't know, like, so
There's an
cozy
indie game
horror.
called Pumpkin Panic that's a bit cozy horror, and there's a couple of them. There's one that's coming out at the moment called Have a Nice Death, where you play as Death trying to reorganize the afterlife,
Okay.
which is in the vein of Death's Door, and also what's the other one? Tunic as well. It's a nice looking isometric platformer,
Oh, very cool.
isometric game. Sorry.
Very,
So
very
yeah,
cool.
it looks really nice. And yes, I'll definitely be playing that when it comes out. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to be playing Lump, our world walking warrior troll, who is now in the city and for various reasons isn't comfortable around a lot of people, but also definitely not comfortable around other trolls, as we might have picked up on last time. But this new troll that we've picked up along the way seems quite sort of chill and relaxed and very energetic and enthusiastic, and yeah, he's quite happy with that. Also, he's just quaffed his potion of flight, which he's been carrying around for 2 bloody seasons, and has finally found a use for it. So he's quaffed that, and now he's one with the gargoyles, and he's not quite got the hang of it yet, but he is getting to grips with it, so to speak.
That's good stuff. And yeah, it's the boss fight thing, right? You've reached the part of Final Fantasy VII where you need to start
Use all the
using all the
items.
Phoenix Downs and the, you know, all that.
We saved them
drill.
for a reason, people.
That's
We
it.
saved them for a reason.
That's it. So now we have our second flying creature, Regina, of course, and then showing Regina how it's done, Lump, who clearly has, you know, innate knowledge of flight and how to maneuver himself. So I had this image of, like, you know, the Hindenburg just kind of like gradually like just floating over the crowd and doing stuff. But it's going to be important because of the creatures they're fighting, as we will discuss. Always a pleasure to have Mike with us. And last but certainly not least, wonderful to have Undeveloped Bruce with us as always. I thought about you a little bit today, Bruce, because we often talk about, like, okay, so how are the dogs doing and how are that? So I've recently gotten 2 cats within the house. And today I, for the first time, kind of revealed them more on stream with their own cat cam. And I had everything set and like arranged. And then every time I had the camera set, I would turn back to the computer and the cat moves somewhere else. And so at a certain point, I'm like, I'm chasing my cat around with this webcam. And I'm like, I thought you were just supposed to stay in one spot. So I was thinking about you because I imagine that this is part of the process of, if anyone ever wants to see the dogs, you're just like, I can't, they go where they want. And like, I can't necessarily capture them. So now I understand what it is to be trying to capture a pet on stream when I can't do that. So having said that, have you ever encountered that, or is this just a bizarre diversion on my part? And how are you doing, and who are you playing today?
Yeah, I find, or I've heard, I'm already getting into the Welsh accent. Yeah, I have heard that many dogs do, and animals stay where you put them. At least, you know, if you tell them to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But similarly to cats, they do say that greyhounds are dogs running cat software, and they will stay in exactly the same space, in exactly the same position, and not move 1 single millimeter until I get the camera out to take a photo.
Right.
And then
yep.
And then they're wherever. They've got 6th sense. They know that you want them to stay still, and they're like, ha ha ha, you won't get me that easy.
Yep.
If you want me to sit still, you're gonna have to offer me some treats.
Yeah, I should have done that. I have to think about that. But who are, when not attending to your awesome, amazing greyhounds, who are you playing, Bruce?
I am playing Chwedl Wedge Cragman, who is a dwarven minstrel from the Crags, and he is on a mission generally to prove that the talismans were created by dwarves, and that this whole thing about the big old wizard man and the whatever's all magically creating sentinels and talismans and things is all just appropriation of dwarven culture spun into this fake news, fake lore by the elves who just can't stand the fact that dwarves have more talent and work harder and are just better artisans. You know, they just can't accept it. So they've made up this whole story and got everyone to believe it. Anyway,
it's a conspiracy theory. It's all true.
It is.
Yep.
And he greatly enjoyed last session or earlier today because he has got a new troll friend. I mean, he already had a troll friend, but he's got a new one that's interested in music. That's kind of challenging him a bit in terms of thinking about what the future is going to look like for music, because he's a bit folksy and he's thinking, actually, you know, is this what the kids are into these days? Should I be switching up my music styles? You know, so there's a lot going on for Quetzal at the moment.
Yes, that's right. And I believe that is, I believe it was Eridan Frampton is the name of the troll, who is also, you know, wants to be a musician and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have his name down as Eridan Frampton - Precious Bean.
Precious. That seems to be your editorial comment, which I certainly approve of. I will include that in the list. Very cool. Very excited to have this crew back together. And let's get to it, folks. Without any further ado, let's fire up some music, which I believe is of the combat variety. Let me get rid of City in the City here, and let's get some combat music here. Okay. There we go. And let's talk briefly about what happened in our last session. As has been discussed, the party has come to the city, the city, has come to the city to have a good time, basically. They have been split apart for a little while since the events of the last several months and have been doing various things. Reginald attending to his graveyard, Lump hanging out, Regina doing a little bit of training and also hanging out at taverns and the like, Weddle playing some music and also trying to consult with some of the dwarves and the sort of the sages of the city to prove the obvious, I mean, the clear conspiracy against, dwarf talismanism. Trying to think of, like, there's election denial, so I guess there's like talisman denialism. I suppose it's something like that. And so they have been involved with their own thing, but there is this amazing and awesome festival which is taking place at the beginning of this. It is the Festival of Strangers, which is a week-long celebration during which every interaction with a stranger is expected to involve the exchange of minor gifts. And as the party started be involved in this Festival of Strangers, they were able to exchange some gifts, and they were even able to break up a potential conflict between trolls and some of the guard of the city. And it was in that group of trolls that they met the aforementioned Eridan Frampton, who it turns out desires to be a bard as well, and sort of is very admiring of Weddle's skill and ability in this area, and so has been sort of hanging out with the party as they've gone around with the rest of the festival. All seemed fine until parts of the buildings came alive, specifically gargoyles who came around and simultaneously struck at multiple points throughout the city. And since that time, the party has been locked in mortal combat to try to eliminate the threat. They have already eliminated some of the threat around them, but there are still a couple of gargoyles which remain that they will have to battle. And in fact, we stopped in the middle of combat last time, so we're going to pick up at the top of the round, or I should say at the beginning of the player's combat round, with that and dealing with these gargoyles, after which, if they survive, chat, they will also have to figure out why the hell the gargoyles suddenly randomly attacked after just sort of sitting nicely on buildings the way they're supposed to up to this time. So they'll have to figure that out, but only once they've been able to actually ascertain, once they're able to actually win the fight. Once they do that, then they'll worry about why the fight happened in the first place. Quick bit of housekeeping. Reginald, I have you at 25 out of 25 life. 2 out of 2 life for your peddler's cloak, 3 out of 3 armor, and 3 out of 8 light fate, I believe. You normally start with, you probably would have dropped a little bit because you normally start with 2.
It resets to 2 at the start of a session, yeah.
Right, okay. So we're at 2, but you have not used any spell points, I don't think. I think you're still 7 out of 7.
Like you said, there's something coming after this gargoyle fight. So
Yeah, could very well be. Could very well be. Okay, Regina, I have you at 30 out of 30 life, 12 out of 12 armor, and you start with 2 light fate as well?
I start with 2.
So you're on that. Huedel is at 32 out of 32 life. Huedel, you would start again at 2, so you would reset down to that 2 out of 8. 8 out of 8 spell points, I believe, is what you're... Or
I got 6 out of 8. I did something.
Oh, yeah, you did. That's right.
And then I cast Cloak of Shadows on the flying
That's
troll.
right. I remember that. Okay, so 6 out of 8. And then Lump has 30 out of 30 life, 7 out of 12 armor, because you did take a hit or 2. And you start with 1 out of 7 light fate. Okay.
I do, yeah.
And I start with 4 out of 4 dark fate. Not that, I mean, I can't imagine when that would actually come into play, but just saying that does exist there. Okay, so having sort of set up all of that stuff, we are going to come up to the top of the round, so to speak, and I'm going to ask the party what they would like to do in this round and who would like to go where. Now, just to sort of make clear, Lump is flying. In fact, let me see if I can give Lump the little flying thingamabob. I know there's a
this is Talisman Adventures version of Cloud Kill.
Okay, so Lump is now flying. Regina obviously is already flying. There's Aridin Frampton. There's Huedel. And let's see. And where is Reginald? Why do I not see Reginald here?
I am all the way over here, and that is where I'm supposed to be because I was ushering
the people
many
yes,
people as I could into
yes,
cover.
you
Yes,
were,
I
you were
remember.
running crowd control.
Boots is inside, just keeping an eye on them.
I do indeed remember. Okay, so party, with that in mind, there are 2 gargoyles still aloft that you have to deal with. What would the party like to do? So what order, basically, would you like to take your combat in?
So this one and this one are aloft, yeah?
They are correct. That is right.
Right.
Lump is engaged with one of them aloft. He is in flying melee, fly lay combat.
And then if it's flying, do I have line of sight of it from here behind these carts?
I would say you do, yes.
Well, I'd like to lightning bolt it then. I don't know about anybody else.
Sounds like an excellent opening move.
Yeah, I'll go with the one not fighting Lump, just because I can't.
I was going to say, I'm like, hey.
They're spinning around in the air. I can't really get a clean shot on them.
It's like Cyclops and X-Men. I'm taking the shot.
It's like Power and Jay said in chat. We've got a spare troll now. It's fine. Just in case we break this one, we've got a spare. I don't want to go.
Yeah, lightning bolt whenever for me is good.
Yeah, I'm just going to melee this one. So if anyone wants to do anything fancy, then...
Well,
really...
I can lightning bolt and move, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, it's been a while. Then I would like to move that way as far as I can. I have a speed of something. I move a distance over a period of time. Speed 11.
Okay, so that should be fine. When your turn actually goes off, what are Huedel and Regina? When would you like to go in the turn?
First thing I would like to do is use my tactician skill and spend a light fate to get my 3 dice that I can then exchange for other dice rolls I do.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yes, so let's get those.
And that brings you down to 1 out of light fate.
Did it roll? 3, 5, and a 1. Well, still... You never know when a 1 might come in handy.
Yeah, okay, so like that.
So, and I think I should also wait out the lightning bolt and then approach a gargoyle with a spear. So I would then attack a gargoyle after that.
Okay.
Quick question.
So I would like to go after a Reginald in any way.
Okay. There was a quick question there.
Is there a fear of Lump being hit or the other gargoyle being hit by the lightning bolt, or is it single target?
No, it's single target, but in character, I wouldn't take a shot at you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No,
Yeah,
I didn't know with like a
It's a single target. I'm gonna
like a
double
super failure or something like that. I couldn't remember what it was called.
Well, I can't attest as what might happen in that case.
Okay. Well then,
There's certainly nothing in the player part of the rules about.
I reckon Reginald goes
Such
first.
As you're all arranging everything, by the way, this terrifying beast suddenly appears in the city. You can see it on stream. It is a terrifying creature.
Don't remind me of the lady's tomb.
The Overlord approaches.
That is
The
that's
true boss fight can begin.
that is Ganesh, one of our two cats. And I know the way the internet works, so we will have cat cam, but not right over the map. I'm just going to put it somewhere else. So the cat will be hanging out.
I have so many questions. I'm sorry. What's the name of the other cat?
Sherbert.
Ganesh and Sherbert.
Ganesh and Sherbert. Sherbert is literally orange. You will see. You will see when it comes up.
Fantastic names.
Thank you. Yeah, Ganesh, and they are best buddies. They wrestled a lot earlier today, and then conked out, and Ganesh is returned to the fold. I hope that they're again. I had this awesome cat tree that they're just like, how about I go behind your computer wires against the wall? Like that's tremendous.
Absolutely.
That's exactly
I'm
what I
sat in a
want.
room. I can attest. I'm sat in a room with 4 cat beds in it, and there's normally one cat sat on top of a fold-out spare bed for guests, which is not made as a cat bed.
Right.
And another one is sat underneath the spare bed for guests, which is not made for cats.
Yeah,
So-
perfect. Just an absolute perfect spot to go. Anyway, I apologize. I will not spend the entire time, mooning over the cats. But the cat did just
I
return,
might.
so I was like, so that is Ganesh, who's sleepy and is 4.5 months old. So still kittens, but they're Siberians. They're going to get pretty big.
Oh, wow, yeah.
When all's said and done. So, anyway, sorry about that. Apologize for the disruption. Okay, so we have got Lump is going to wait. We have Reginald doing this. Weddle, what about you? Are you like also waiting for Reginald to shoot?
Yeah, so the Cloak of Shadows works until the
That's
start
true.
of my next turn, so I do need to go last to protect
So-
Lump.
Logical.
You after me after Reginald. So I think Reginald.
So I've been shoved to the front of the circle.
Your turn.
Okay.
But in the meantime,
to the front.
I don't think Queddle even has a useful action that he can do. He's like got melee attacks that he can't do because they're in the sky, and he's a negotiator, not a fighter. He's just muttering under his breath like about trolls and gargoyles and getting his kurf out, and he's like, no, like this. No, maybe it's like this actually.
You've never seen anything like this. So you're just writing lyrics to a song. It's
Yeah.
just like
Gargoyles in the
what on
sky. Do 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 do.
earth rhymes with gargoyle. Oh
And
my
on this
God.
night, metal was invented.
Exactly. Barboils do
don't-
not
I-
die. No, barboils is
don't-
not a word.
I don't think Reginald's been shoved to the front. I just think we've all taken a sharp step backwards. So
Yeah.
you're up, Reginald.
In
At least
reality,
it's figuratively and not literally.
yeah, like in reality, Saber, if I hear someone yell lightning bolt, I am in real life leaping to the ground. I'm not going to be like, let me go first. That's what I'm
I'm almost done.
Hold that thought. Yeah.
Okay, so Reginald I have going 1.
Okay.
Does that mean then that we have Regina 2, Lump 3, and Weddle 4? Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I would prefer Lump 2, Regina 3, Reddle
Okay.
4, if that's okay.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
That D6 was by mistake, by the way.
Okay. Okay, so Lump is 2, you said Regina 3, and then Weddle 4? Is that right? Okay, cool.
Okay,
I think
right.
so. Yeah, my ears blacked out for a second, then I didn't hear what you said, but everyone else nodded, so yes.
Okay. All right, so you're sacrificing yourself for the party. All right, well, I appreciate that you heard that and that you're... okay. All right.
I didn't mean spare troll, literally.
That wasn't exactly. We already have a backup troll, so. Okay. Right. Okay, so we're going to begin then with Reginald. Reginald, you are going to be shooting a spell, specifically lightning bolt.
Yes.
At, this creature. So that means we are going to be doing a spell casting test.
Mm-hmm.
And let me pull out the actual lightning bolt that's there. Right, which is going to be defense test.
Yeah, I'm just going to do a straight roll, nothing fancy with like fate. Mostly because I get a +8 for this.
Yes. Also, I am spending a dark fate to increase the threat of these creatures in case anyone was surprised. I was just...
Good thing I got a +8 then.
God
Right.
damn it.
Well, come on, first roll. I mean, it's a 22.
Okay. Yes. Actually, let me actually roll and see what that turns their threat up to. Threat's 11, isn't it? Okay. Dice roller. All right. Let's see. So. Okay. That is what the. Sorry, I don't have the. I don't have my info about them for some reason. I don't know why. Just one moment. Oh, page 190. Okay. Yes. I was like, where are the stats that I'm supposed to have that it claims I have? I found it.
Yeah, didn't get a 6 on the Kismet, so I don't get the bonus effect.
Okay, so how much did you say total?
22 total.
Yep, that's enough.
Okay,
So
okay.
that is a success, and let's see. That is a standard success. So it means that it will take effect, but let's see. I think under these circumstances, on the circumstances that we're seeing here, I'm trying to decide. I could do the extra spell point. I think what we're going to say here is that the spell is only going to be partially successful. I think the toughness of these creatures may limit the effectiveness of this lightning bolt. So I'm going to say that it will be half damage as a result of this standard success, which is still better than 0. So.
Yeah, so I'll just roll for damage first. That's 1d6 plus 7. 12. So that goes nice and evenly down to a 6.
Very nice. Okay. And you see as your lightning bolt strikes the one that was closest to you, that little bits of stone rain down. I would say probably, Whittle, you have to like duck out of the way as like, a stone like thing hits the ground in front of you.
Hey, watch out, I'm trying to play my course here.
Yeah, exactly. They took your desire to rock out, more literally. So you managed to avoid that. But yes, you have definitely damaged the armor of this creature.
Good. I think I'll just, on the reflection, move up to there and try and scooch up against the market stall just to try and prevent a nasty swoop on my head.
Sounds reasonable. Now, one note about the market stall. It is not it's not like a roof, right? Like, so it's an awning. Just be aware it may have limits in terms of what it does.
I'm aware at some point it may be a tangle of ghoul, market stall, and gargoyle.
Yeah, that is fair enough. Okay. So, let's see. There's that. All right. That is going to lead us to Lump, who is going to be up next. The flying troll up against the flying gargoyle.
Excellent stuff. Where are my dice? I'm just going to attack it normally. So, it's been a while since I've used Roll20. Bear with me a second.
You got the new layout as well.
Yeah, they're having some adjustments. That's true.
Are they?
It's had a bit of a visual overhaul.
I just thought that. I was like, I'm certain it didn't look this chunky.
They've got like
some of the little windows
they've got
are a bit chunky.
templates for area of effect and stuff now as well.
It's a good call. They do need to streamline a bit of how it appears, but I understand it's like they add stuff and then they streamline it and they add stuff and they streamline. So we're in the add stuff phase of this stuff, but nonetheless. Okay, so your melee attack will occur. So let's see what you get against this creature.
Seconds. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my previous one of my previous. Yep, it's what it is. Good. 18.
18 is not enough. That is unfortunately a failure, thanks to my successful use of Dark Fate. So you inflict no damage to your target, but your opponent, sadly.
You see the troll just. You see the troll. Damn it.
Exactly. I had him, but no.
It's just a proper wobble afterwards as he's flying in the air.
Exactly right.
I got it. I don't got it.
So he swings down his stone axe. He actually has these 2 stone axes, and he swings them down at you with furious anger and vengeance as you miss. If I can actually get the damn roll to work. There we go. Okay, so you are going to take 11 points. So 7 of that is going to go to your armor, which means that you are now down to 0. And you marked one of them off, right, Mike, already? Like double marked
yeah, with
or
an X.
slash, whatever. Yeah, double slash rather.
With
Okay.
damage, yeah.
And then the rest of it goes to your life.
The Cloak of Shadows.
Oh,
any
I'm sorry.
damage
You're right.
the
You're right.
target would take as
Oh
a
my
result
God.
of ranged or melee attacks is halved until the start of my
That's
next
right. I
turn.
forgot about that. Thank you. That's quite right. So that would be 6
He's coming in
only.
clutch.
Yep, that's right. I forgot about Cloak of Shadows. Very important. So that means you're down to 1 armor, so you do not actually take life damage. The power of a flying shadowed troll. Yes, I forgot about that. Very important. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate it. Okay, so good stuff for Lump. Lump, you don't really have I mean, I guess you could move around it or something, but you're I don't know.
There's no point. I'm
Yeah.
just know where I am.
That's kind of what I assume.
He's still getting used to sort of being balanced with nothing underneath him. So he's like,
Yeah.
oh.
I just had this weird like Disney fan. I'm just a troll. Flying.
It is a little bit like that until he gets his bearings and actually starts scoring some good hits, and then it would just be like an absolute missile. But
Yeah. Then you don't want to mess with them at that point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Regina, you are up next. What
Yes.
would you like to do?
I would like to use my big spear, not my javelin this time.
Okay.
Two-handed, and you'll like speed forward like a hornet, like ah. And because I have learned from our last adventure, it only took I don't know how many years, but Regina learned a thing, maybe from a tactician book, and so I'm gonna attack the one that is already hurt.
Wow, the tactical like skill to do that.
That is
a big part of it. It's the stack damage chapter. It's just like it's a good idea to put damage on the same creature. Like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a real
So-
five-head move right there. That's what we need in this.
Don't have to attack-
flailing around.
You don't have to attack the one closest to you. You can choose.
All right, so that means it's going to attack this far one. Do you mind moving yourself over to be engaged with that one, Regina?
Yes,
There we go.
okay.
In comes this hornet at the gargoyle, which looks at you holding its stone axes.
Okay, let's see if I got all of this correct with the two-handed master and stuff. I haven't played this for so long. It should be so it should be 3d6 plus the aspect plus 2 because I've got the thingy.
You have the skill and a
This-
focus in the skill. So that would
Yes,
right.
I
So
do.
3d6 plus aspect plus 2. Yep, good stuff.
Okay, then we're gonna do this. So that should be plus 8 then. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. So 3d6 plus 8. There we go. Yep. Roll. I'm gonna exchange one of the 3s for a 5
Okay.
to go up to 21 and have 2 of the same number. Have
That's
doubles.
great. That will not only hit, it will be a complete success. So you will inflict full damage on your target, and your opponent will not get an action. So you will inflict full damage on this creature.
Okay, and as I have a standard success or better on an attack test, I will use Mighty Blow to reduce the armor points of my enemies by 1/2 of my strength before resolving damage. So
very
it
nice.
loses 3 armor points through that.
More stone rains down on the ground.
Okay, and now we're gonna do the damage. I did two-handed weapon with both hands, 2 additional points of damage. 1d6 plus 5, and then physical damage modifier. Okay, wait. So it's two-handed is 1d6 plus 3, plus 2 is 1d6 plus 5. Then the additional physical damage modifier from my agility, 1d6 plus 11. If I got it all correct.
Okay, for a minute I thought you were saying another 1d6 plus 11. I'm like, wait a minute. I do
It's 1d,
30
it should be-
damage. Yeah, no, I get it.
It should be 1d6 plus 11. That
pretty
sounds
good.
reasonable.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Just scrolling down from my... But it should be correct. I really hope that I could... We haven't played this for so long.
Yeah, I know, but I
There we
believe
go.
that is correct, though.
15.
15 damage. Wow. So you just
Yep.
obliterate its armor and strike a furious blow at it. It is still aloft, but you have cut through its armor. Reginald, I would say you probably have to duck as a stone goes whizzing, like, from it, banging against the side there.
I look at a hole in the cart next to
Yeah, pretty
me.
much.
Yeah, I'm using like my
and like stuff
I-
pouring out of the cart, like like grain or whatever was in there.
You see Regina with her spear two-handed going at it like a woodpecker, like.
Yeah, it's very impressive. The thing happens, and you'll be happy to know that the creature is not going to be able to act because both of them have been attacked and have returned with whatever attack they're going to have. So that's good stuff. Regina, you were already on top of the troll, so you've done the movement, which leads us to Weddle. All right, Weddle, you've got a flying troll, a flying Regina, and a stationary Reginald by a cart. Oh, and also your backup troll friend.
Yeah. Extremely helpfully in this fight, Hweddle and Eridan, I felt like very inspired by what's been going on all around them, and they're like crouched together, and he's got his Kruth out. He's like, no. What do you think? We're like, like this. Yeah, like this. Okay, and then they start like going into this little, sometimes I feel I've got to run away, I've got to.
He keeps hitting the
get
don't.
away from the stone gargoyles diving down on me. The claws they share seem to cleave the air, and I have lost my sight of the warrior troll. He is the shadow of night. Once I ran to him.
And he's like, I ran to him.
Now he is flying.
Flying.
This floating troll is too far. I gave him all a dwarf could give him. Take my spells and beat gargoyles to sand.
Oh.
Floating troll.
Whoa.
Exactly. And that's,
by the time this is done, the turn is ended, actually. And you're like, wait, I'm about to. No, I'm just kidding.
And that's that he feels he's very inspired. All the stones been like fallen down all around, and he feels like it's a very good use of his time.
Yes, clearly. I think that's very fair to say. Are you going to do it? Is Weddle going to move anywhere? Or is Weddle going to stay where he is, continuing to do to do more of the maneuvers of singing?
Hweddle's gonna stay where he is in case, Lump falls to the ground and needs somebody to, valiantly defend him with a rapier. Until anything like that happens, he's gonna just be nearby, ready to give any and all support needed.
Lovely. That's good stuff. Well, that brings us up to, as I said, the gargoyles already went through the course of that round, so that's going to bring us up to the combat round for the players again. That went pretty well this round, players. What are you going to do this time, order-wise? Who wants to go first, second, third, etc.?
Well, lightning bolt didn't work, so we know what it means. I'm planning next.
It did some work.
It did some work.
Yeah.
Let the four winds blow.
Since the Cloak of Shadows will have worn off at the start of Hweddle's last turn, it might be good for Hweddle to go first, but it is a touch component, so I don't know if rules of disengaging from enemies counts, where maybe Lump could come down and high-five Hweddle through the air to receive Cloak of Darkness. Or if that's too much to plan in the
I'm not sure the DM was expected to think in 3D so much.
Yeah. No, listen, I'm if only my guidance counselor in high school could see my spatial relations work. I would say I don't think that Lump is going to be able to get all the way back down to the ground, high-five you, and then come back up without sort of, attacks or anything else. Although I would say that you could. Well, there's one possibility, Weddle. I don't want to give you your move, but you are next to a fountain.
Yeah,
and
he needs to climb this fountain and dive and give Lump a jumping slap on the back, then you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it feels to me like that is, that's the thing. I'm going to require a skill test on that when we get there, which will be athletics, which literally is about climbing. So we'll talk about that when we get there. It seems like such a great, visual, I feel like we have to do it.
That has to go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are
That
you
has
doing
to
that?
go
Absolutely has to go first.
That has to go first.
Yeah, finishing the song, climbing up the fountain, and doing the jump.
Oh,
Yes,
That's a good-
100%.
Floating troll.
oh my god. Okay, so that's gonna be 1. All right, what do we have for 2?
I'm not sure, because obviously my hope is Gust of Wind might knock one or both of them to the ground, but that's not a guarantee.
True.
So
That
earlier
does
or
it-
later, up to you two, I think.
Does Gust of Wind have friendly fire?
No, specifies enemies.
Oh, nice.
Oh, thank God.
But I could go after Huedel and just wood peck again, stone peck again.
That's a good shout, and I'll go after you.
All
Okay.
right, so there's that.
And then Reginald at the end if there is still something flying.
Okay, lump 3. And then
Reginald to finish the job.
Reginald to finish the job. I am again notifying the party that I am exercising my right under the rules to use Dark Fate. I'm
Oh,
going
I
to use
think I found a
Dark
way
Fate.
to make him burn all his dark fate.
I never have to worry about that where you
Yes.
folks are around. I
Let the dark
mean,
fate flow.
Oh,
what I meant to say was...
Let the dark fate flow through you in the first 30 minutes of the session.
All right. Huedel is going to be up first then. So Huedel, what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to make an athletics check, or an athletics test, I should say. So as I pop up my tests, which I literally just had and then lost.
Can I get some help from Eridan giving me a leg up?
Yes, I think so. I think that probably he would be able to use his turn to be able to give you, let us say, a +2 to this chest. Why can I not find my skills? I don't want to have to go back and look at the thing. I just had it.
It's right. Huedel doesn't have the athletic skill, and he's not a strong boy. We can just assume it's a straight 3d6.
Okay. Okay. All right. In that case, Huedel, Frampton, so it's 3d6 +2 for the Eridan assist, which is now an official talisman term. The Eridan assist.
All right, let's go. This is just for the climbing part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so...
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
All right. First of all, I will happily take that point of Dark Fate back.
So I just want to be clear, what Huedel has so far given us in this fight, he sang a song, tried to climb a fountain, probably fell off the fountain, and is now done. Just cool.
Panicky stuff going on. Give Wonderwall a bit of
and
credit.
gave a dark fate away.
Yeah, I will give you... Now, I'm going to give you a choice here, Huedel. I will say that you are going to get an opportunity. You could push yourself to slap, basically, lump on the foot or the leg or something like that as you fly past. But then you were going to hit the ground exceedingly hard. So basically, you're either going to take damage from that, or I will allow you not to do that and land in the waters, the calm, cool waters of the fountain instead. So you can either smack your face on the stone surrounding the fountain and have your thing succeed, or hit the fountain, not succeed, but hit the fountain and do not take damage.
No, Huedel's in a proper rock mood right now. He's basically just done his rock concert. He's in the post-song phase of smashing your guitar up against the ground, but obviously he's not going to do that with his cuff. It's not ridiculous.
Yeah.
So he'll smash his face against the ground quite happily after slapping Lump on the foot.
Okay.
Or attempting to.
So you do so. You're able to do it. You slap Lump right. Lump, something hits you in the foot, and then shadows fall, and then you hear Huedel, just being like, "Don't you want me?" and then just hits the ground. So that is 3 points of life, Huedel, and I don't believe we have any armor that we're dealing with you. So that is just life. You are now lying on the ground, sort of like re-straightening your nose after you've slammed it to the side of the thing, but you did
look, this is my
successfully get
tooth.
that. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's mine tooth. Okay, good stuff, Weddle. Very, dramatic and ultimately successful with a little bit of sacrifice involved. Good stuff. That leads us next to Regina, who is up next. Engage with this flying troll. With it,
Yeah,
not to it. Not engage to it. Very different thing.
So Weddle just flew by. Regina is very excited about everything happening here, with all her friends getting into this.
Yes.
And
did Weddle play a power chord, by the way, on the Kruth while hitting? I imagine da da da.
I mean,
da, da,
all of the chords that he plays on his crew.
These are always power. Yes, that's fair enough. But of all the power chords, this was the most powered. Sorry. On you go, Regina.
Okay, so I'll just do the same attack as before. So 3d6 plus 8 for the attack roll. That's a 19.
I was gonna say, are you keeping it?
Yeah, I could make the 2 to a 3, and I think I will do that. I'll go up to 20.
That will hit. So, having hit, that's just a standard success. So that means that you succeed, but your opponent is going to hit you for half damage.
Yes. And I just found out it should have been 3d6 plus 9 and not 3d6 plus 11 last turn, so 2 points of damage less. I'm sorry. I just needed to get into the game.
Gotcha. Okay. That changes everything. He's now hale and hearty. No, just kidding.
So I'm going to do 3d6 plus 9 now.
Okay.
But let's see, I'm merciless and he is less at current life, but I don't have any fate to spend. Okay, well, whoa! That's still 15 damage.
Yeah, you were out of light fate now, Regina?
I'm completely out of light fate, yes.
Let's see. Yeah, that is definitely 15 damage. I like the fact that that's 15 damage despite having the 2 ones. All right, so that you just smash it. As you do so, you get smacked in the face by this stone. You're going to take 8 points of damage, which is halved to 4. So you will take 4 points of damage to your armor, which means don't forget to mark that one, that double mark, the first one. You are now at 8 out of 12 armor.
I'll try.
But you also smash through it, and so just stones and rock land everywhere in the fountain. You destroy it.
Okay, so 4 damage to my armor, 4 damage to my life?
No, you just took 4 damage total. Because you had 8,
okay.
It was halved to 4, because it was a standard success. And then you took all that on your armor. So, and you destroyed the gargoyle, so good job.
Yes.
Okay, he's
Very good
destroyed.
job.
Where are you flying anywhere, Regina? Because you technically have, you were just next to him, so he's now destroyed.
I just saw that Huedl had some problems with his landing, right?
Yeah, not to put too fine a point on it, yes.
I'm 100% sure that that Lump, who is now also flying, will handle the other gargoyle without any problem. So I'm going to quickly check on Huedl, because I know that landing can be difficult. So where is Huedl lying? I don't see Huedl.
Huedl should be, roughly speaking, here, face down. You see his head before everything else, which is the first thing that landed. So
I'm going to fly over there and see if he completely splattered or is still okay.
Okay. All right, we will talk about that when you get up to that. That's going to lead us to Lump. You were engaged with the last remaining gargoyle that you see before you, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Melee attack.
19.
19. I will happily take that Dark Fate back. Appreciate that help. Let's see. 19 will hit.
Wait, oh, wow. Okay. Well, shit. What do I do for damage?
18 did not hit. 19 did hit.
I'm so not used to hitting.
On a hit, so that is
there
a
we go,
standard success. So you'll hit your target for full damage. It's going to hit you for half damage.
Yes.
Okay, damage is 1d6. I rolled 3d6. What is up with me? Why can I not play the game anymore? Why did I lose all my things?
Which reminds me that because of the Cloak of Shadows that you have, that is halved further. So it's going to, it's going to take half and then half again. So just so you know, when we get to your damage that you
when I
take.
get to my when we resolve it, it's damage against me.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So I will be doing that, but I didn't use heedless or any special talents, so it's 1d6. Sorry.
Okay.
No, 1d6 plus 4. 10
Wow.
points of damage. That's a solid 6.
I was going to say, just obliterate its armor. So stone rains down again. And you are going to take, after all the various halvings, a total of 3 points of damage.
One off my armor, presumably.
Yep, that's right. And then, so your armor's at 0 now, and 2 points off of life. But that was thanks to standard success, half damage, and then Hwettle's Cloak of Shadows is another half damage. So,
Void Troll.
good stuff. Which leads us. I assume you're staying where you are, Lump, again.
Yeah,
still,
too right. I've got the hang of this flying malarkey now.
Now I get it. This leads us to Reginald. Reginald, you are up last. There is one gargoyle that remains.
I call down a localized whirlwind right on its head. Cast gust of wind. Have it on my grave if I die.
I was going to say, most surprisingly
Here
useful
lies
spell.
Reginald Shune. Gust of wind.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sweep away the target.
That's a 21 with a double 5.
21 plus a double 5 is in fact going to hit, and that will be a great success, meaning that your attack is a complete success, or rather the spell is going to be a complete success with no side effects. So it is going to be knocked to the ground, taking damage equal to your craft.
Which is a 7.
Which is a 7. Okay, and yeah, and its armor was already gone, so all right, it looks quite hurt as it hits the ground. Lots of like one stone wing looks like it has a bunch of holes in it and everything. It looks very hurt, but not destroyed yet. Reginald, you have 5 out of 7 spell points now.
I do now, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, and are you staying by your awning of safety there? Hey, Kilgore.
No, it's on the ground. There's no other threats. I'm going to move up to about here. I'm still staying back from it because I have friends who are better at that.
That's fair enough. Okay, that is the end of this combat round. There is one gargoyle that remains. Party, what would you like to do as this combat round begins? Who's going when?
Fly straight down.
I was gonna say it's on the ground for the moment. So
I'm nominating Lump for going first with a finishing blow.
I agree.
okay, yes. So if he's 1, who wants to be 2?
I may as well hold back last because it's probably not worth burning a spell on it at this point.
Okay. So
I can-
Hwettl, Regina, who's 2? Who's 3?
I can go 2 and then just check whether the gargoyle is still there or if Hwettl needs help.
I have a lightning bolt as an emergency after everybody's done.
Yeah, Hweddle can go 3. He's got a rapier. I guess, it's within reach now.
Mm-hmm. And
He'd feel kind of awkward if, he ended up doing the killing blow when he hasn't really contributed anything to the fight.
He's
So
just
he's
like,
like hanging
"Eh."
back, like, I'll let you all have your goes first, and then...
And by the way, Hwettl, you had 6 to begin with, so you've used 2, I think, in this fight with 2 Cloaks of Shadows, right? Or just 1? No, 1, because it was 6 out of 8 because you'd used Cloak of Shadows. So you used another one, so you should be at 5 out of 8 now, right? Spell points? Okay. Lovely. All right, so that means first to act is going to be Lump as you fly down to the ground. Yeah, are you E-honding, to use a Street Fighter term, this thing? Just like land on it?
Yeah, 100%. Like there's a tiny kind of swirl, like the gargoyle falls. There's a tiny swirl from Lump. You kinda, if anyone's looking, you kinda get the impression he's sort of got the hang of this now. Still a little bit of a wobble, but then he sort of tips himself forward, both fists to the ground, just straight down.
I love it.
And he fails spectacularly.
Wow, you flew too close to the sun. I was using another dark threat, by the way. I always using one regardless.
I mean, that's fair.
Use them all in this session.
Well, no, remember I got them back. So
Yeah, all right, don't rub it in.
thanks to all of you. Okay, so right. Okay, so let me see. That unfortunately is not enough to hit that. That means that is a failure. So your
Lump of
opponent
fountain goes flying.
is going to hit you for full damage. Is going to hit you for full damage. As you come down, it brings up, with furious anger and vengeance, its stone axe. It's going to hit you for 6 points of damage, which you're going to take all of because you have no armor left at the moment. So 22 out of 30 life, I think, is where you're at,
Yep.
Lump. Okay, right. Number 2 is Regina.
So Huddle crashed to the ground, the gargoyle crashed to the ground, and now Lump as well.
Yes.
This
Lump
makes me a little bit
tried
anxious.
to like fly normally, but you know.
Thematically, right?
Yeah.
I like to feel like it didn't actually attack me, but what happened was it saw me and rolled out of the way. And I just plummeted straight into the ground. Fists first. The ground is real sore now, though. I would like to point that out.
Yeah, that ground will never bother anyone again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It knows what it did.
So, just giving Huddle a quick look. How's Huddle looking?
How is Weddle looking?
Oh, completely fine.
Okay,
Didn't need that.
so
teeth.
I'm trying to spear the gargoyle to the ground then.
Okay. Spared. All right.
25, and I get a
Wow.
slight fade.
Yes, you do,
Wow.
and that's how you do it. That is a great success, complete success.
Are you, can I ask, Regina, were you in the air then, or were you on the ground?
I was still in the air. I was like flying. Why would I be on the ground? I'm never on the ground. I'm very
I
small.
love it. I absolutely love it. So you've got the troll that has never flown before, has just missiled to the floor and impacted the floor horribly. The troll has rolled, the gargoyle has rolled out of the way, and then Regina's just like, let me show you how it's done.
So, and this time I'm gonna do it correctly. 1d6 plus 9. There we go. 13
points of damage.
13 point. Yeah. So it rolls out of the way as like Lump slams into the ground, and then Regina's just like, bzzz, and like literally like you're watching a pile driver on stone is like, tick, 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 and it's just like this like spider web of cracks, like the whole thing just collapses and falls apart.
Is that
and
where the gargoyle rolls over away from me, and he's just sort of like, what's that glinting in the sky? Oh my god.
Can anyone else hear a high-pitched whistling?
Exactly. You hear this. Okay. All right. And the gargoyles are motionless, or what's left of them
Face
are
hurts
motionless on the ground. I would like, let me see, all of you, because you were all engaged with or dealing with these gargoyles, I'd like all of you to make a notice test for me. And this is using wits. So if you have the skill of notice, great. Does anyone have notice? Actually,
I sniff the air while noticing, as I have the smell focus in notice, as I would like to remind everyone again.
I have noticed as a
This is
base
visual.
skill.
This is visual. Sorry, Reginald. I know.
Did
Someday
I
it's going to
again?
work. It's going to work someday.
If
I
I
would
sniff
feel
enough
worse if you
things-
didn't have the gust of wind thing, having been like way beyond. So, Bruce, this is what you're like. I'm fine, like looking for your tooth on the ground. Like,
I constantly reread it.
everywhere.
yeah, exactly. So you see absolutely nothing.
Notice what we're doing here.
Regina has notice as the base skill with no focus on it. And so that means I can add my wits,
That's
which
right.
means +1.
Let's go.
Yeah, me too.
Woo!
Wow. Ultra combo. All right. Wow.
Also, that's 3 6s on the Kismet in a row.
That's incredible. Okay. So that is a great success. All right. So let me tell you all what you see.
HD, like.
Reginald and
code. That's what you see.
It's a flying thing. I know flying things.
so Reginald and Lump, you notice that after the last gargoyle died, it and all the other gargoyle bodies in sight faded away. As you're looking, the rocks and stone, all those little pieces, vanish without a trace. Now, the Regina additionally notices, and Reginald, that the bodies vanishing suggests that these are not corporeal beings, which does not match normal descriptions of gargoyles. Like you know, gargoyles are like they're stone things. You were like raining stone armor off of them, the whole bit. But the fact that they vanished this way suggests that they were not your normal everyday gargoyle.
So
yeah.
they're specifically non-corporeal.
That's what it suggests. Yeah. They
Okay,
certainly
noted.
hit. They were hit like corporeal, but they didn't They vanished that way. They did not vanish like a corporeal being would.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Didn't we encounter something non-corporeal when we were at the cemetery?
Yep.
Okay, so Regina,
Psychic.
we'll look at it. We'll look with a sudden intuition. And Reginald says that these are like the things we met at the cemetery, the non-corporeal ones.
Weddle, who is the only one who
Looks genuinely impressed.
About this. It's just like, what? Nah, it's fun. There was Sonia.
And Eridan's like,
now only
maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't. I mean, that looks terrible. Can I here? And he picks up something white and hands it to you. He's like, I think this belongs to you.
Reginald's walked over to the spot where the gargoyles have vanished and is sniffing the ground. God damn it.
You discover that, there's no residue of the gargoyles at all. Also, one thing that you do note, though, Reginald, as you're going over and sniffing and look up, is that some of the gargoyles on the buildings are still there. So, like, they didn't all animate. Some of them did, some of them didn't. And several of the guards sort of come up to Lump and come up to Regina and probably Weddle and Reginald too, and sort of clap you on the back and say, I appreciate your assistance and all that. And they then go off to try to like help people, like they're going over to the place where you had the people take shelter and all that kind of good stuff. So party, as you were sort of kind of gathering yourself together, so it is the middle of the night. And you'll have to consider that. However, you may want to try to ask around to find out what the hell was going on, if anyone else found anything in the city. So you may have to think a little bit about that in terms of this attack too.
Quick question.
Sure.
Can I have a look at something? The gargoyles that came to life, are they now back on the buildings?
They are not.
Actually gone? Okay, cool. It was all a dream, apart from all the wounds.
Right.
As an aside, I've healed 3 HP because I rolled a 6 on the Kismet because trolls.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
I love that defense.
It's a great ability.
Yeah,
It is on the board game too.
It's real helpful.
That's true. Okay.
Weddle's like, held this white whatever up to his nose until the bleeding stopped, and then he's like, I don't even know what Eridan picked up.
So
It's not underwear, right? Like he's not picked up someone's
no,
laundry.
it looks
There you
sort
go,
of
here's some
tooth
pants.
shaped.
Oh, I thought he was passing like a cloth or something.
No, he's passing you a tooth.
Right, okay, yeah. Thank you. Didn't get that at all. Crap. Cradle's just gonna put the tooth back in.
It's like
Hang on. Healing skill here.
Okay.
Can I? Is
you
there
fail,
a way
I'll
to
try and put
save
it
this
back in.
tooth? And will Weddle allow me to try?
It keeps like coming back up. He's like, does anyone know how to fix a broken tooth?
I have a healer's kit. I have got a healer's kit.
Yeah, look, it's just not sticking. I just want to say, it keeps falling off again.
You
give
could
it
grow
a
a new
try.
one.
I heard that's really hard.
No, you just
I'm now
wait.
looking up the very specific, curiously specific rules on tooth reattachment.
If you have a tooth that is necessary. No, not quite.
Lump's just like, can mend arms and legs, not tiny bones.
Yes, you're going to have a
Wait,
chance to
wait,
do...
wait. Lump just closes Weddle's mouth and just holds their jaw shut.
I'm actually, if you want to do this, Reginald, I would actually say that this would be during a long rest, which is what you folks... I mean, it's up to you if you're taking the long rest. If you are taking a long rest, then you could tend to the wound of Weddle, basically. And there may be benefits to that you may not... there may be benefits beyond what you realize if you choose to do that. But it will be... That'll be your action during the long rest.
Okay, Regina is like, we have to fix this. He uses his mouth to sing, and I like it.
Yeah, I can't sing like this.
Yeah, no.
Reginald smirks.
This is my livelihood on the line here.
The plot of a completely and
I
totally
think we
preposterous.
should do something about that as soon as possible.
Lump just gently holds Weddle's mouth shut and just be like, "Get fixed.
Oh,
Don't worry."
And nothing else matters.
Regret.
Queddle like looks up into Lump's eyes and it's like, did you like the song I made for you?
Very good. Helped me fly. And then he looks over at Regina. I don't want to fly again.
Your flying was really good. You just have to work on your landing, like Huddle. You just need both work on your landing. That's why I don't land much. It's the hardest part.
I think you're supposed to aim for the ground and miss.
I did aim for the ground and I missed, and it still hurt.
Look at the lump-shaped crater.
The water on the fountain just spilling out of the bit that Lump landed on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm all for us taking a long rest here and
Yes.
fixing this tooth as an absolute top priority.
Yeah,
'Cause
let's
we've
go.
ascertained that Weddle has impeccable prioritization skills today.
I look at Reginald. Do you need my help fixing the tooth? Shall I, I don't know, sit in his
Actually,
mouth and do something?
I was gonna say someone your size would definitely be able to assist. You are small and strong.
Yes, I am small and strong.
No offense, Lump, but you can sit this
Lump.
one out.
I look at Lump.
Lump
You're
just-
not
Lump-
small.
Lump with one hand gently on Weddle's chin, kind of trying to keep it closed, just holds up his big chubby digits. He's like, not delicate,
You're not small.
not small. You small.
Not
and
small.
mighty.
All right.
I am small and mighty.
Cue the surgeon simulator.
I just,
Yeah, yeah.
I would like,
Somebody
can
fetch me an
I,
alarm clock and a hammer.
before we go somewhere, I would like to, listen into the city just in case we hear, faint screaming and crashing noises or something like
That's a
that.
good show, actually.
Yeah, you do not hear that. It appears that
Good.
the attack has more or less come to has been repulsed by the guards and everything else. Although you definitely see a couple of people on the ground who have been
heroes
hurt.
Oh, well.
A couple who may perhaps not move again. Mostly, it looks like most of the city's citizens have avoided any serious hurt, but obviously a lot of people are pretty shaken up, and goes without saying the festival has come to a momentary end. Okay, so during this long rest, what will happen is that first of all your lost life and all spell points will be recovered. So that's the first thing. However, in addition to that, let me go with this here. All right, so we're going to have Weddle is back up to 32. Still sitting at 2 out of 8 light fate. Lump is going to be up to 30. Has 1 light fate. Regina has no light fate. Reginald has 25. Okay.
I have
now,
a light fate. I just rolled 3 6s. I got
that's
an
right. That's right.
extraordinary
You do.
success.
That's right. I forgot about that. You do have 1 light
And
fate.
I'm on 3 after mine as well, just for the record.
That's
Oh, yeah, you rolled a 6, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
right. Yep. Okay.
I'm on 1 because I didn't use mine.
Right. Okay. Also, in terms of what you want to do during during this short rest, because as of right now, Lump, you are sitting at 0 out of 12 armor. So I don't know if you're going to want to try to refit your armor, which means everything but that slash. So right now your armor would be sitting at you'd be at 11 out of 12, I think.
Yeah, so when I refit, it's everything. It's the single slashes that I can fix.
Correct.
But not the double slash because that's actual damage. Isn't it?
That's right, and that has to be repaired either at a smithy in the city, or you can sometimes repair armor by having kits of your own to do that stuff with.
Okay,
So,
excellent stuff.
Um,
So I'm going to do that whilst I'm doing that and you're sorting other stuff out. I'm just going to have a quick look at the stats of that helmet that I've still not put on.
Oh, yes. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. The helmet that we kept talking about that you're going to put on at some point.
The Myrmidon helmet. Yeah, I'm just while you carry on, I'm just going to have a look at it.
Okay. Right. Okay, so when the morning dawns, and it does so relatively uneventfully, you do find out that these attacks happened at multiple places throughout the city at the same time. So you were obviously fighting these creatures here, basically around the city gate and near that area. But there were also other places where these attacks were taking place. There was a magic emporium, Ozer's Magic Emporium, had gargoyles where there was an attack. The Six Fates Inn was attacked by gargoyles. Sorry, you were at the town square. I beg your pardon. The town square, which is where you were, you already know about that. There were attacks happening at the High Temple in the city. There were attacks happening at the city gate. There were attacks happening at the wharves. So you basically have a lot of things you could look at. You could talk to the guards. You could talk to the citizens. You could go to the High Temple. You could go to the Magic Emporium. You've obviously got a alcoholic naked wizard to deal with. So you've got that. You've got multiple things. There are still gargoyles standing on these roofs that have not moved. So, I mean, those you could investigate. So there's a lot of things you could theoretically do, basically.
But what about the tooth?
Oh, and
the whole tooth.
Yes, and nothing but the tooth. There you go.
Ah!
Yeah. Reginald, with some successful work, managed to get to the root of the problem, I think.
If we fix the tooth, do I still have enough time to refit my armor?
Well, so, okay. If you can refit your armor if Reginald is fixing the tooth. Because I think Reginald
But he wanted my assistance, then I cannot refit my armor.
That is true.
Then I will not refit my armor, the tooth is more important.
Okay, the tooth matters. Okay, so if you're going to do that, then what that means is we're going to have you roll a check to basically like curing a wound for this tooth. So that means that we are looking at... Hang on a second whilst I get my resting up here. Okay, so a heal test against difficulty 14. And this will require a heal which uses the aspect of insight, Reginald. And using Regina's ability and knowledge to help a little bit. I'll say... Regina, what are you doing to help with this exactly? Do you have some like knowledge of teeth
I'm
that
not
I don't
using.
know?
I'm using my ability, not my knowledge, because that wouldn't be good. I mean, I've got sleight of hand, so I think I can like help with the tiny things that need to be done to fix the tooth again.
Let me give
just,
you a...
holding the jaw open as well when maybe I prod a nerve and
holding
put
the
I just love the concept of Reginald as the dentist and Regina as the hygienist in this scenario. Like, hook, dental floss, whatever.
I can also use a straw and suck out the spit.
Jesus. That's...
This took a weird turn.
That is very much not what I was planning on.
Weddle was not okay with that.
Did not have that on my bingo card today. All right.
Weddle soup.
I like to think these are all things that Regina's actually trying, and I'm going, no.
And Regina's like, now would you like to rinse, like in the fountain? It's like, no. All right, so we're gonna say that's a +2.
I'm also
question mark.
I'm also trying to disinfect with alcohol because I know alcohol is good.
Oh,
Would you like to rinse? Pour the keg of beer down your throat.
I was gonna say, like every so often, just like shakes a butt of beer in the mouth, just like. Oh my God, this is the greatest dental repair work all done. Chad, I hope you're enjoying. This is what it would be like if your dentist was an alcoholic, in the process of it.
This is what
A
dentist.
All right, Reginald. So you have to do a heal insight test. You're going to get +2 to this, in addition to whatever else you get. So you have heal, right?
Yep.
Do you have a focus, like in dentistry?
I do, but it's in disease, so I will inspect for gum disease while I'm doing the work. But I don't think that's relevant to what I'm trying to do.
So that's going to be 3d6 plus insight +2.
Okay, I'm going to throw in that shiny light fate I just got to roll 4d6 and +5.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't think I lobotomized Hweddle.
No, it is a little difficult with every so
However,
often,
there
like
are now
beer
more
going down
spare
there.
teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
For some reason.
You do manage to replace the tooth where it goes. It's maybe slightly
different
off
one
center,
from the
like
tooth
it's not
before.
quite, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close, and certainly it completely repairs the speech issue. The lisp is gone, and Hweddle, you get this sort of faint taste of alcohol, when you're sort of put your...
It's not a faint taste, mate.
Yeah.
It's a very
Probably not.
strong taste. And it also tastes of straw-based violation.
Oh, no.
Weddle doesn't know what to say, but he's thinking to himself, next time he's just going to lose the tooth.
Reginald just sort of nods at anyone in general and he's just like, I think the patient will live.
Okay.
But at what cost?
Yeah, exactly. At
Yeah.
what cost?
Waking up at like 3:30 in the morning every night with a cold sweat.
Great success.
You have just become Weddle's paralysis demon.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just wait till later on you're fighting the tooth monster and you're like, oh my god.
Just made up of lost teeth.
Yeah. Okay. That said, Weddle, your tooth is working now. And so as the morning dawns fair and clear, you have the teeth have returned.
The teeth, the terrifying teeth.
The terrifying teeth.
Not this true.
So it's not where I thought this was going to go. Okay. So
At one point, Weddle was just like, "You mainly do this on dead people, don't you? I can tell."
I promise
would
they're
never
dead
suck-
when I get them.
I would never suck anything out of a dead person.
Maybe some gold.
Okay.
I hope
yeah,
these are getting
well,
clipped, chat. I hope these are getting clipped.
My face is so sore.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that happened. When the morning dawns, you can see that there has been some progress made already with cleanup in the city. Again, a lot of the stone from the raining debris of the gargoyles that's all gone. But there is still blood on the ground in certain places, and a lot of overturned carts and goods and things like that. And just a great deal of... There are a lot of people out and about, sort of like looking up at roofs and pointing at where there used to be a couple of gargoyles and so on. But you all have an investigation to do to figure out what the hell just happened. What do you... And also, there is a alcoholic naked wizard in your room, Weddle. There's also that.
There's always one of them.
But there's always one of them. So what do you folks want to do?
I think we should make sure Oza's Emporium is secure. Don't want looters getting hold of all that magic or goodies. Actually, is
Regina.
Oza's Emporium magic? I live in the city, would I know?
Is which?
Oza's Emporium, is it a magical emporium?
It is a magical emporium. It is the magical emporium, in fact.
What he said.
Regina has completely forgotten about the naked wizard again that she helped secure earlier on, because for her, like, this job is done, so it's like completely out of her mind. So she's like,
Same.
yeah, let's go shopping. I also want to go to the pet shop. They just want to...
Weddle is not forgotten the wizard, but he's had a really hard time and he doesn't want to deal with that right now. And so
One trauma at a time, eh?
he's a bit like this, like, I don't know what you mean. I'm a wizard. What even is a wizard? I've never met one before in my life.
Okay.
I don't know how other people noted the gold down, but I've got us down as a group fund of about 120 plus whatever you're carrying yourselves. Because
What an excellent looking.
I have 13.
I have 17. That is a considerable amount of gold from my perspective.
I got 5.
I have it written down somewhere. Bear with me.
So yeah, after the last fight, I noticed we got 50 gold party and jewelry worth 70. 2 bracelets, a necklace, and a ring.
Oh, I'm glad you made a note of that.
Well, Arvid
have in
hinted
my
we were going to the
inventory-
city for the next adventure, so I was tracking money at that
Yes,
point.
indeed.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I
Not the
have
use
in my
for-
inventory a warm egg. I can't remember the context.
Excellent.
Warm
That's the best
egg.
kind.
I'm here to tell you that egg is not warm anymore, but I don't remember. I don't remember how you got this warm egg.
But this may be relevant later now. No,
Did we get it from some kind of mystical creature?
No, I think it was probably
Oh, I know what this is from. The gift.
festival giving.
Yeah, the gift. That's what it was. Yes. Yep. Because remember, the strangers give you like little knickknacks and things like that, and warm eggs. And...
Yes.
yes.
I'll replace that and say it's now a cold egg.
Exactly. It's now a frozen egg.
If Lump is inspecting the helmet, I want to inspect the helmet as well.
Okay.
Because this might be another step on my way to better tactics. What is a helmet for? Is it really good?
Oh, Lump
can drink
will
from it.
Lump will regale you about how the helmet helped save his life in the big cat fight. Because it literally helped save his life. Not this helmet, but a helmet helped save his life in the big cat fight. In regards to the helmet, Lump is going to put the helmet on because he now understands what it does, and it's hopefully not going to curse him. So I get +3 armor against physical and psychic damage.
+3 armor against physical and psychic. Let's say, okay, so we're going to say 3 out of 3 armor, Myrmidon helmet. Okay. All right. Okay. So while you were all sort of chatting about that, so you're going, as I understand it, to Ozer's Magic Emporium first to try to talk about and see what's going up.
I found my gold finally. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry. Say again. What?
I found how much gold I have finally.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get to Ozer's Magic Emporium, the establishment is open during daytime hours. The shop is actually not too far from where you started. It is located just off the town square, and it's down this narrow alley along with a blacksmith. There's also a dwarven market and a few residential buildings. And you notice that the shutters of the windows of the residences opposite Ozer's are all closed. And I would assume that probably Reginald, who spends a lot of time in the city, and maybe Hweddle would have heard this. I'm not sure that Regina would have paid attention to it, and probably not Lump. But know that the residences have had their windows shuttered ever since a recent magical crafting mishap briefly turned most of the nearby residents purple. So since that time, they've been like, yeah, let's close the door to the magic factory that's right next door.
Grimace Gate, I remember.
Yeah, exactly. But you notice that while there were 4 gargoyles on top of Ozer's Magic Emporium, there are now only 2. The other 2 are not there, presumably having come to life, apparently. And when you walk into the establishment, you can see this wiry dwarf with long auburn hair tied in braids and intense blue eyes, who wears a sleeveless tunic and these humble cloth breeches. And when he sees you, his eyes open a little bit and he says, strangers, welcome to the Magic Emporium. I'm Ozer Brittleaxe. Well, help yourself to stranger gifts on the table by the door. I'd give them to you myself, but my hands are busy. Because he is in the midst of trying to, looks like retrofit some kind of, he's doing something with basically like a dagger. And he's like maybe inscribing a rune on it or something like that. They can't quite tell. So, but he is there. At the moment, there's not really anyone else in the shop. Might be the people are not really going out right now because of, warning of floating gargoyles and stuff like that. Oh, and now you can see, by the way, sorry, I just noticed, Sherbert has made his appearance. So Sherbert is my orange cat. And let me see if I can
Quickly, full screen the stream. Full screen.
Yeah. Well, I want to get the brightness. Now, let's see. I wonder if I can do the exposure. This is going to be a mistake because there we go. All right, so that is Sherbert.
Aww.
And let me...
Look at the little booties.
Let me do this. And do that. And then do... There we go. There is Sherbert. And you can't see, but Ganesh is next to the underside of my computer because, of course, he is. But that is Sherbert. Sherbert is a very good boy. They're both very good boys. Ganesh is the explorer, a little bit more. Sherbert is more of this sort of chill, hey, what's up, cat? And Sherbert is actually 2 weeks older than Ganesh, but they are best buddies, as I said.
Can I ask a ginger cat question?
Sure.
Is Sherbert a vocal cat?
Very little. They
Very
sometimes
little.
like little chirping here and there, like but not anything like a very long thing. Even when he's play fighting with Ganesh, it's like, but it's nothing like, or anything like that.
I see.
So he also is still a kitten technically. So when he gets to be a couple of years old, it actually takes Siberians about 3 years to mature. So
really?
yeah, because they live to about 15, 16. They're pretty cool cats. So anyway, that's Sherbert. So now you've seen them both. Okay, sorry about that, chat. I promise I will not, but I promised I would introduce Sherbert when he appeared, so that's why.
Never apologize for cat cam.
Okay, let's go with that. All right, lovely. Okay, so so Ozer is like doing this, like inscribing runes or something on this dagger perhaps, and there are a whole set on shelves around the inside of this. There are a whole set of all kinds of crystal balls and staves and knives and swords and looks like spell components, various like herbs and liquids of different types and stuff like that that you could imagine. And normally you know that Ozer's is like the place to be for magic stuff, and normally you would expect there'd be a lot more people, but there's no one in there today except you.
Sorry, I'm just checking something.
No problem.
I'm pretty sure nobody wants Regina to ask any questions, so I'll just fly around, look at stuff. Looking if there's a don't touch shield sign, and if I don't see a don't touch sign, I'll start touching stuff.
Okay. There are some don't touch shields.
Then I'm not gonna touch. I know that these mean it, usually.
Okay.
Lumber's gonna go over to Ozer, did you say?
Ozer, yes. O-Z-H-E-R. Sorry. O-H-R-Z-E-R. So Orzer, really.
Orzer. Okay. Is everything okay here?
Oh, well, now it is. Last night was a little bit of a problem, but apparently we got through it okay. Did you run into any of those problems yourselves out there? I heard there was a commotion.
In the square.
Oh, yeah, and more than the square. I heard that there was all kinds of things all over the place. Well, these kinds of things exist sometimes. And he says, I knew that I heard something about gargoyles, but I don't really know the situation with that. I mean, I have 4 of them. And then he kind of pauses like, oh, and then he like stops. He puts down the dagger and he like runs out of the shop. And he kind of, you see him like drop, and then he's looking up at the roof. And he says, "Oi!" And then he comes back in. "Well, I've lost 2 of them. Now that's a strange thing. Gargoyles don't normally just go off on their own. Apparently it got me too."
Is there any post-magic tests you can do? I mean, you clearly are a person of great knowledge in this area. Is there anything forensics wise could be doing, like up in the site where the gargoyles was, that aren't there no more, like trace the location or something?
Well, you're welcome to go up and take a look if you like, but my gargoyles aren't real. They're just stone imitations of gargoyles. They're crafted by an old friend of mine. But what I craft is magical items of wonder, and you look like you might need one of those, sir. Like maybe a bottomless haversack. Only 150 gold.
No, let's rewind a bit here now. This mate of yours that's made these gargoyles.
Yeah?
Is that the one that has made loads of gargoyles around the rest of the city? I can't imagine there's a lot of gargoyle makers around. Well,
no,
in the
big
city.
Absolutely. It's Ebba Silverbow. Oh, she's the best stone carver I know. We grew up together here in the city, A lot of people use Ebba's work.
Oh, excellent. I think I really love stones. Where can we find Ebba Silverbow?
Oh, well,
for commissions and stuff.
I'm not actually sure where she'd be right now, but I imagine she might be going around inspecting some of the stone walls and things like that. She also helped craft those too. And the truth is, and his voice drops a little bit and he says, I hope that she didn't actually see this gargoyle attack. Ebba's actually terrified of actual gargoyles. It took a lot of persuading her to get her to craft the ones on my roof. She's been afraid of them since she was a child, you see. But I knew that I had to have the best stone carver to do it, and, well, that's what it was, and I can't imagine why any of those things would be coming to life now. But in any case, if you walked around, you'd probably find her someplace inspecting some of the stone, maybe even looking for other parts of her gargoyles, I suppose. Like I say, lots of people use Ebba.
What is the difference between a real gargoyle and a stone-carved gargoyle?
A stone one's just like made of stone, like like if you carved. If I looked at you and I had a stone, and I like chip, carved it, I could make a stone version of you, right? Like,
yes,
and that's what these are, like stone versions of gargoyles. The real gargoyles, they look like they're only stone statues of gargoyles, but they're actually gargoyles. And they look like they're stone statues of gargoyles, but they're gargoyles. But then this person doesn't like gargoyles. It's gone around making stone statues of gargoyles that everyone thinks is gargoyles, but actually they're only stone statues of gargoyles. But you can't tell because gargoyles just look like they're stone statues of gargoyles.
So
Regina takes 40 points of wits damage.
Gargoyles that are not stone-carved gargoyles are not made of stone.
Oh, they're probably made of stone, but like live-in stone,
So, and now we're putting the dead stone gargoyles on the houses, and so the real stone gargoyles are now homeless?
No, I don't think there was any real stone gargoyles that lived here. I mean, it could be potentially putting future gargoyles out of work, like if they were looking for rooftops to go on, they'd be like, well, you've made fake stone gargoyles here, taking my job. So, I don't know, I haven't talked to a lot of gargoyles, to be honest.
I've never talked to a gargoyle. But most people are not very considerate of flying things.
He jumps in, Ozer, and says, oh, that's true. Oh, the common wisdom, is that wizards bring those to magical life so they can protect their treasures and whatnot, but I've never encountered one myself. I don't know if it's true. Perhaps they only come to life at certain points of time, or, well, I don't know. I mean, like I say, I wouldn't traffic with the real ones myself. Although, speaking of bringing things to life with magic, you could take home this dancing sprite figurine for only 50 gold. And he picks one up from the counter, and it's this, like, figurine that does, like, this sort of ballet thing. And he says, and then he trails off as he sees your face, Regina, and he's like, well, right, is a novelty gift. Anyway, and he puts it down and becomes very busy working on the dagger again.
Reginald would like to browse to see if there's any spell scrolls available.
Okay. Yes, you would be able to find some spell scrolls. Oh, yes. Ganesh has decided that the best place to be would be directly behind the wheels of my chair. That's a tremendous place to be.
Hard relate.
If I roll back
That is
onto you,
fantastic.
Ganesh, you have no one to blame but yourself. Okay. Yes, there are, in fact, some. Let me just take a look here at the scrolls that you could find. Okay. Magic Emporium. Okay.
Where everything's dead expensive.
I can find loads of new ways to kill the party. I mean the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the real.
Hey, has my gust of wind ever hurt you? That's a weird phrase.
I mean, right, what gust are we talking about?
I think you once brought down part of a ceiling on me.
Oh, and there was the setting fire to the cave incident.
Oh yes, no. So
Where,
no
gust of wind near
intention.
open campfire and flammable materials.
Yes, so there are a number of spell scrolls. In fact, there are basically most of the basic spells that you would have that are sort of nature oriented here. So, like Lightning Bolt is a basic spell and so on. You have, there are scrolls of a bunch of these, Reginald, that are available to you for basic. Now, you know a lot of these anyway, but there are other ones that you could technically get. The scrolls that you could get for these would be 25 gold each. The intermediate ones run for 50 each. The advanced ones run for 100 each. And it should be noted that the advanced and the intermediate ones, although you can use those scrolls, they are not a guarantee. For one horrifying moment, I thought I'd rolled onto the cat, even though I swore I hadn't moved, and it was just him yawning. Please don't do that. Anyway, so it's possible that in trying to use something above that typical level, that it might not go off properly, but it also might. So, and there's some big ones up there, you know.
Quick question with the gold that we got as a lump sum last time. Was that distributed to us, or did we discuss that? I can't remember.
I do not recall myself.
I think Reginald has just got it all.
What's that? Sorry, spells?
The
No, I've
gold.
only
The
got
gold. The gold.
Oh, the gold. I just noticed it as party gold. I haven't claimed it or anything.
He says, turning around with like an armful of scrolls. He's like,
What?
"What?"
I had the party gold. Yes.
No, we weren't paid for that last mission.
I currently have no gold, but
If I buy a scroll from a store, do I still have to decipher it?
I would say yes, but I would say that you can, for an additional fee, you could decipher it there, sort of like an identify,
Okay.
like at a merchant.
Yeah.
So I would say, let's say that to deciphering it would be an additional 5 gold per scroll.
Okay. Well, just for the party's benefit, what I'm thinking here is I can transcribe the spell off the scroll and have access to that all the time as an extra spell then.
Well,
It would take me, depending on the level, it takes me a day per level of the spell to learn it, but I don't want to go advanced, but I was thinking maybe if we could get an intermediate spell.
How much are the intermediate spells? Are they like
50 gold? Yeah.
What were you thinking?
That's what I'm just browsing now. What have we got? Burning Curiosity.
How much? Sorry to bombard you with questions. How much gold did we get as a group from last time?
120.
120 gold.
Yeah,
So if you
that was
were to-
undivided.
So if it's a
Well, I'll
useless
pitch
spell
in
and everyone
from-
agrees.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pitch in mine and lower how much is coming out of the group fund.
So it should be an intermediate nature spell is what we're looking for. So something against trees, maybe.
It's classed as a nature spell. Do they have a counter spell scroll?
They do have a counterspell scroll, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I kind of like that idea. I'm not gonna lie.
Now,
Yeah.
this is a one and done deal. You know that, right, Reginald? Like these scrolls.
Well, I can transcribe scrolls into my spell book.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was just thinking about expanding the repertoire a bit.
Yeah, I would still say that's fine. The money numbers I gave you still work.
Cool. Well, if other people want to do a bit of browsing while I'm just having a quick look through the spell list. I don't want to... I mean, counterspell's good. Don't want to jump in immediately on that.
Yeah, have a browse. I was going to ask, in his own unique way, whether or not there were any items any magical gloves that could inflict magic damage on ghosts. So, ghost punching gloves is what.
Ghost
I'm looking for.
punching gloves.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
So, I would say yes, but I would say that they would be very expensive. The gloves, in part because what you'd have to do, Lump, is you'd have to basically custom order them because they don't have troll-sized, punching gloves, basically for ghosts. So you would have to custom order them. But Ozer tells you that he'd be happy to do it. And that he would be able to do it given a few days. In fact, he says probably he could do it in 2 days if he was given sort of like if he had, he could get it done within that time because he has to basically sew some of the equipment that he currently has into sort of larger gloves to fit. but it would be exceedingly expensive, as in like a few hundred gold expensive. But, you know, it would do the thing.
Talk to me mechanically. If Lump was wearing magical gloves or something imbued with magic on his hands, could he attack non-corporeal creatures like he was attacking corporeal creatures?
Yes, I would say yes.
So it's just standard, like, as long as it is a magical weapon, you can hit them with, full battery.
With those gloves as you're using them for melee. Obviously, ranged attacks would not have that effect, and, they would still hit you for the same damage, but yes. What it essentially does, these gloves, is it slightly phases you out of the material world, the hand part, so that you are almost entering the spiritual plane as you hit them with just your hands.
I love the idea of Oza trying to explain that to Lump, and Lump's just like, ghost punch gloves.
Oh, yes, it's exactly right. Well, you see, there's another plane that you enter. It's a spiritual plane. And what happens is your hands, you see, they resonate with the spiritual plasmatic notion of the world beyond. Well, it's something which some might know. And he kind of looks over at Reginald, who is like buried in scrolls. He's like, he might know something about it. Anyway, it's a spiritual thing. And you see, and he like starts going through this stuff that starts sounding like, blah, 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 blah. And every so often you hear scroll, like is a word you pick up on Lump, and blah 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 ghost, blah 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 spirit, and like things like that, but the rest of it is a little incomprehensible.
So there's a lot of words there that Oza's sort of saying to me. So Lump leans closer and he goes, "Do you have any ghost gloves?"
And he says, "Well, yeah, that's what I've been saying. Well, I mean, I'm going to have to make one custom for you. These hands," and he looks at your hands, which are like, you could fit 3 of his hands inside one of your hands. And he's like, "It'll take a while for us to make it, but I might be able to do a rush job on it. Say maybe 2 days. Let's see, have to have the cost of materials in there. And, well, let's say I could do that for 330 gold. Normally, I'd have to charge you more, but since you're looking into this gargoyle problem for the city, well, it's the least I can do to try to help in my own small way. As you know, it's always important for merchants whose cities are in great danger to continue to charge people for buying stuff from them, even when you're actually helping out the merchants. That's a rule,
I don't
Is
know
it
about
though?
merchant rules. You sound like you know it's a rule, though.
He winks at everyone who's ever played a CRPG and who felt the exact same way. Why are you charging me for... Anyway.
Queddle's gonna sidle up, look, I think we both know the 300 gold is gonna be a bit out of reach for Lump here. I know he's got big hands and he's also got a big heart, which is irrelevant, but I'm just telling you about it. And you say, you still gotta, make a business, etc.
Precisely.
When the city's in danger.
Aye.
But I think that, donating your time and making this at cost, even if it's just one glove, it doesn't have to be two gloves, it could be one glove. You say 300, was that the price of 2 gloves? Because if we're going for one glove...
He blinks and he says, well, the truth is, unless you have the 2 gloves, you won't be able to resonate with the spiritual plane. It has to do with the spiritual causality of the surrounding air, you see.
All right, well, could you do 2...
Did he say spirit plane?
Knuckle dusters then? They're
did.
smaller, less material.
Can I roll
2
for bullshit on that?
You can roll a smell test for bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, Reginald, he's right to a degree that in the so-called spiritual realm, the realm of the dead, that there is sort of a different... you know this from your own work, that there are ghosts are kind of in a different area. Like, basically, they move within us, but they move around, like, and in the world with us, but they're also separate, obviously, in a different world from it. So it's sort of right, but you're sort of like, yeah, but it's like, Fisher Price, my first ghost. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really like, the way that it works. Anyway, Hweddle, it sounds to me like what you're doing is bargaining here, and I would like you to make
I would say more than bargaining. I am persuading, specifically negotiating.
Well, let's see. This is a bargain test. Which you do not have bargain?
No, I thought I was negotiating.
You are, but this bargain is specific to work with merchants. That's one of the reasons why they have it as a separate thing. I think what I would allow in this case is I would allow you to do, I'd give you the aspect of this. Let's say, so 3d6 plus aspect, which would be wits in this case. Not the +2, but the 3d6 plus aspect I think is reasonable. Yes. And you don't know what the difficulty is, but that's the test that I would suggest.
So Lump just turns around and goes, I don't have that much money. Anything smaller to hurt ghosts? If ghosts turn up again, I can't protect my friends.
He says, well, I'm sure the strength of your will and the power of your wit would be able to do something.
But my fists don't do anything.
Oh, well, yes. Okay, so we're looking at, what do we got here? A 13.
Yeah, wits is not his thing.
He says, well, the truth is that well, look, the city's been good to me, and I'd like to think that I've been good for the city, but the reality is that when everything happened last night, well, I ran down into the cellar until things got quiet. I'm an artisan, you see, not a warrior. Although you could get good use if you're a warrior out of this shield of defiance of mine here for 400 gold. But anyway, I digress. Perhaps it's the case that I might be able to help the party a little bit. You all are doing some good work here, and so he thinks about it and he says, all right, well, how much gold do you have? He says to you, Lump.
I shuffle, I sort of go, 1 minute. I shuffle over to Reginald and I go, do you need all of the gold from the cat fight?
I'm now just holding a single scroll. It's like, I just need Morthwell's voice to go away for a moment. I've been missing him, can you tell? Anyway, yes, but also been. The problem is they're very similar. Anyway, I just need this. That's 50 gold. I have 17. Would need to dip into group funds.
Do we divide group funds?
It's for the good of the group.
I don't need my share for anything, so...
So what Ozer says he's going to do, partly thanks to the negotiation/bargain that was just done, is he's actually going to severely discount some of the things within the store. So what he will do is, how much gold does the party have as a group? How?
We've got 50 in cash and 17 jewelry.
17 jewelry. Okay.
Was that as a group? Did you add?
That's what I've got noted. That's what I got noted as the group got from the. I forget who gave it us.
Yeah. No, someone awarded us some gold and we got some.
Yeah, so I wrote a note of that because it was the end of the session.
So you have more than that. You have more than that.
So that's the group funds. And then
that's just the group. Yeah.
Okay. So if you pulled all of your individual and group gold together, what would you have?
So what does everyone have?
I've got 17.
You have 17. I have 30.
Let me add that. Hang on. 17, 67. You said you got 30.
30, yeah.
30. So that puts us on 97 gold.
I have 13.
13 will put us on 110.
I have 5.
115 gold and 17 jewelry then.
So about 187 total with the jewelry. Okay. So what he will do is he was willing to give a few people magic objects, but he can't do that with the size of like the potential like gloves. So what he will do is he will take the 200 gold if you're willing to give it to him. he will make the gloves for Lump. And in addition to that, he will give each of you the equivalent of 50 golds worth of magical stuff. So, Reginald, that would mean you could get like 1 intermediate or like 2 basic spells. Regina will talk about what you may or may not be interested in. There might be some possibilities. Same thing for you, Weddle. So he will give that to you, and he will give, and that's the total that he's able to do. He would be willing to give more to each of you, but those gloves are a lot. So the gloves will take up a lot of that action. So if you give him all the gold that you have and the jewelry, then he will give Lump the gloves, which is going to take 2 days to make Lump. Weddle and Regina would decide what things they might want to get for 50. And Reginald, your scrolls, you'd be able to make that decision based on the previous prices I gave you.
And then we would be completely broke, right? Like completely, we couldn't even afford
completely
the tavern.
badass. I mean, you'd have some magical stuff like ghost punching gloves, for instance.
So Lump would like to talk to the party in private.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, no
so-
problem. I've got some work to do over here. I have a cloak of silence if you're interested in getting one of those. And he kind of murmurs to himself as he goes on.
Sure he does.
Regina is completely lost in thought. You see her giving the shop dwarf the side eye from time to time.
When we fought ghosts last, I didn't like how it felt to not be able to protect you all. If I can get something to hurt ghosts that's not a blade, then I can help protect you. But I don't want to use all of our money.
If those things, I think, are non-corporeal, something that could punch a ghost could come in handy.
He was over to Weds and Regina.
Huh? Me? Do you think it was something sexual? Like with the little sprite he was offering to me?
Yeah, I
Like, what
definitely
was that
got that
about?
vibe. Yeah, I got
It
that
was-
vibe.
Yeah.
I'd be real careful.
It was.
Yeah, right, isn't it?
It
So
was
what
a
was
bit-
You know,
about?
if you're into that, I say go for it.
No. I'm not into that. Like, no.
Whatever. We're all here to support you. You know.
Yeah,
so
thank you,
No
thank you.
judgment either way.
No judgment, you hear from the back of the store as he's
I am judging you
We shuffle a bit more
very
away
much.
from
Like for the last 10 minutes at least. So what was it?
I don't want to use all the gold, but I couldn't help when we fought the ghosts. If I can get magic gloves, then I can help against anything that's ghosty, but I don't have to use a blade. But it means we'll have no money. I'll work for it though. I'll do chores around the town while I'm waiting for the gloves, and I'll earn us some money back to help rebuild things. I just don't want to take money from family. So I wanted to know if you were okay with that. If not, I can try and get a magic rock for ghosts.
There are magic rocks.
I don't know. There's lots of magic.
I'm really good at throwing things.
Says the
I'm
druid.
really good at throwing things, so a magic rock would be really cool. But I understand that you want to punch ghosts. I feel like the same way.
I didn't like that I couldn't protect my family when the ghosts attacked, and I don't know if they're going to attack again.
Also, if I imagine you flying around with like glowing magic gloves and you doing the thing,
Hitting the ground.
yeah, maybe, but it was still cool.
It was pretty cool.
It was pretty
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So you want all of my gold?
Well, he said that you could have 50 gold worth of items, and I think you had less than 50 gold.
Yes, but gold can like buy beer.
We could
And-
use the things we buy to earn money to buy more beer.
There's bits of buildings that need replacing. I've earned money before, I started with not a lot of
Yeah,
gold.
look, we're literally standing like burning, broken parts of town, going, "But it's my money."
I mean, I'm for
Property
punching ghosts, and I'm
values.
also for flying trolls. So you can have my gold.
In a slightly awkward movement, Lump sort of moves forward to try and hug Regina.
Yeah,
But
no.
he doesn't want to. He fears because Regina is much smaller than him. He knows Regina's as strong as him, but he doesn't want to hurt her. So there's this weird kind of like half hug. He's like, "Thank you."
Yeah, Regina like kind of pats him on the shoulder, like, "It's okay.
Suddenly,
It's okay.
Suddenly you hear
It's okay."
from nearby a friendship is rare, and you look over and there's like a little, like the sprite figure is rotating in place as it plays musically from below it. Friendship is rare, and you can see that Ozer is resolutely paying zero attention, just like frantically working on his dagger as the sprite is playing the music.
Lump turns to Reginald and goes, You know how ghosts can be. Would you be okay with this?
I can't think of anyone else. I would rather have punching ghosts.
You're a good flesh ghost, but you're a better brother. And he gives him a firm thwack on the shoulder.
My arm does not fall off, I hope.
Yay!
Friendship is rare.
Stitching
Friendship
holes.
is rare.
He turns to Weddle. Right. Been through a lot, Weds.
Oh, you don't
Been
need to say it. Just
poor,
have the
been
gold.
rich.
I'm not using it. Go on. Just have it.
He leans over and gives Weddle a hug.
And Weddle hugs him back. Like, yeah! Troll hug, troll hug.
His hug,
Drax Brothers!
his hug is powerful enough to straighten your tooth, Whittle. Like,
Excellent.
yeah, back in order.
And that was all that Weddle was really aiming for. It was like, they're like... there, thanks.
Push just that.
It's like the Invisalign of Talisman, but you're done by a troll. That's that's not invisible. Yeah, Invisalump. Invisalump. Exactly.
Okay, so with the touching montage over, so in 2 days, Lump will get some magic gloves,
Yes.
and I assume everyone gets items to the equivalent of 50 gold.
That's right. So Reginald is easy. Whittle, while Pyron is doing whatever she's doing, is there anything in particular that you would look for on the magical side of things? There are scrolls that theoretically could be used of the arcane variety, Whittle, which would be something that's possible, unless you have a way to transcribe them, though. Those would be kind of like one-shot, use spells, but you could do that. Or you could look into other things that might, like, if you said this is what I'm kind of looking for, you could see whether this is within your budget.
I mean, does he sell just standard, good old health potions?
Yes, he sure does.
I have-
Those are 25 each.
I'll have 2, please.
Okay, very easy.
2x health third potion.
Good stuff. Regina, what are you thinking about for your 50 gold's worth of stuff?
I want information.
Not sure if he's going to provide that because he may not know, but you
I
could
want
certainly-
information. I want information about a magic item.
Oh, I see.
I see.
What's the item?
The item is an inferno spear in my size.
An inferno spear.
You can look at page 240 of the base book.
I will
I
do
think
just
I
that.
saw this earlier.
An inferno spear. This sounds like a 50 gold item if I ever didn't hear of one. All right.
No, I know. I just want the information of where I could find one in my size, because the full-sized one is strength-based. So I need a small one to use it for agility.
You said 240?
And it can... And 240, yes, and it can hurt trees.
Very
What have you
important.
got these trees?
Said to have been
They
forged
attacked
by
me!
a fire elemental or some ancient spirit
I
of
see.
evil, the Inferno Spear is hewn, thrust, and carved a bloodstained path through history in the hands of villains, warlords, and despots. Able to melt steel with a touch, it has ended many a would-be hero's life. So,
Yeah, that's 50 gold, right?
yeah.
Cannot be used by good characters, but I can use it. So that's not a problem. I want information. So I think the information about where I could find an Inferno Spear my size would be worth 50 gold.
So what he says about that is that he will have to do some research, but when you get the gloves when Lump gets the gloves, he might have some more information from you. You do note, by the way, that when you get when you roll a 1 on a Kismet die, that the flames of the Inferno Spear may destroy a valuable scroll your target was taking or ending the life of an opponent you wanted to capture. That the act
It's
is
the perfect item
always
for
destructive?
Regina.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. Hang on, let me read the final sentence of that description there.
Act is always destructive and always has negative consequences for you.
Yes.
All right.
This is the perfect weapon for Regina.
I mean,
It's
it is awesome.
absolutely,
Look at that, chat.
definitely perfect.
A chaos.
And so
spear
I
for a
make
chaos
this now
sprite.
my. So
Pretty good.
Regina thought about the whole magic thing for a long time now because we've been receiving and talking about magic items for a long thing, and this is what she wants. So I'm putting my 50 gold towards a personal quest of finding an Inferno Spear my size.
Sounds good. The perfectly sprite-sized Inferno Spear.
Yes.
The Inferno Spriteer, if you will. Okay. So that work will be looked into. So we have that for Regina. We have the healing potions for Weddle. We have Lump with the gloves that are being made. Reginald, what scrolls have you picked?
It's counterspell.
Counterspell.
Yep,
Okay.
intermediate for 50 gold.
All right. That sounds like a plan. It makes lots of sense. Okay. All right. So you're able to do that. So you're able to do that. Now, Weddle, you had also asked about looking at these gargoyles. And he mentions that there is a way to actually get up to the roof to do so. There's a roof access ladder inside the shop. So you can actually use that ladder if you wish to go up onto the roof and look at the remaining gargoyles, or I guess the pillars where the other gargoyles used to stand. You could do that too.
Yeah, I'd like to do that, please, because I am very good today at noticing things. I thank him profusely for the access and do ask that somebody else who is also amazing at noticing things, well, we could all go up, I guess, if there's room for, depending on if the ladder supports trolls.
Okay. That seems reasonable. So you were able to climb up to the ladder. This doesn't require a test. You're able to get up this way. And if anyone else wants to go up that same ladder, you can. Obviously, Regina could just fly up. That would not be a problem. So when you get up there, you can see that there are 2 gargoyles, as I mentioned, that remain. One is at the northwest corner of the roof. The other is at the southeast corner. And the 2 gargoyles are decorated with yellow flowers that are draped around their necks. A lot of the statues in the city have these flowers, which are that's the symbol of the Festival of Strangers. So you can see that they're draped around the gargoyle statues, and they look like the ones you fought last night, except they're not moving.
I'd like to go up to one, sort of poke it a bit.
Okay.
know?
No, don't touch it. Don't lick it. No.
No, he's poking it. He's poking it.
Okay. So
I hear that and start climbing the ladder.
you kind of like bing, 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 as you tap the stone. They seem like normal stone statues. They don't have any particular damage other than just sort of the weathering that you would expect to be part of like the exposure to the rainfall and the climate of the city and all that stuff. You could do a closer examination if you wish, but just like the poking and the looking at it, that's what it gives you. But you could like do a hardcore, like, let me look up and down every part of this gargoyle. You could do that, and then that'll be a separate thing.
Yeah, I'd like to do that, but I'd also like to just quickly ask, about what's the gargoyle face situation like? Like, are they like like that?
Yes,
or...
they're all kind of. They actually have different. One of them is like, one's like,
Right, I want to go to
Another
the one
one's
with
like,
the more
just made that
open
funny.
mouth.
Okay. All right, you go over to that one.
Yeah, can I put my egg in its mouth?
You do that.
Excellent. That's my gift, because it's a festival of gifts, right?
That's
so I
true.
just say, hey, it's a festival. I know you can't give me anything because you can't move, but like, here's an egg, that's for you. Pop it in the mouth.
Okay.
And then say, if you do come to life later, remember I gave you a nice egg, so don't attack me, okay? And then I'll sort of start looking around. I'll see if it's reacted in any way.
Okay.
And,
As you leave behind your griffin egg. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what he's expecting to find.
At the back, on
This
the
all
back
sounds
of
like a yoke to
the
me.
heel, basically, the back heel, the right rear heel of the gargoyle, you find a signature, and the signature is Ebba Silverbow.
oh. Wow.
I feel like an egg is a really good present for a gargoyle. Because they must hate birds. So they're gonna like chomp on it.
Yeah, as a baby bird that's now never gonna hatch, never gonna grow up and poop on the gargoyle.
Yeah.
Did that gargoyle a mega favor, to be honest.
Climbs back down off the roof in Druid. A little huffy.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna check on the yellow. I'm gonna check on the yellow flowers. Are they only on the not living stone gargoyles?
Well, you didn't see them in the creatures that you were fighting last night. You do not, but there's only 2 gargoyles on top of the roof. Remember, 2 of them are gone. But the 2 that are on the roof both have these necklaces of flowers.
Are there
And
necklaces that look like they got discarded when the other 2 came to
No,
life?
they don't look so. They look more fairly fresh. Maybe not immediately fresh, but like they've been put on in the last 24 hours maybe.
But are both of those gargoyles made gargoyles or like from this stonecutter?
Yes, it looks like it. The other one also has that Ebba Silverbow on the right rear leg as well, ankle.
I'm gonna take a good look at the flowers. Do I know these flowers?
They look exactly like the yellow flowers that are given to people in the Festival of Strangers.
I'm probably wearing some now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we're matchy. Can I go and look at the platforms of the missing gargoyles,
Sure.
please?
Yeah. You can see that there is, at least apparently, no trace of any residue of anything here. There's no like someone trying to like pull the statue out from its position or like breaking free of some kind of solvent or glue that held them there or whatever. It's just as if it just has an empty platform, as if we're waiting for statues to be put there rather than having been one where there were statues that then left.
Yes. With my keen observation skills, I observed there are no gargoyles here or here, but there are gargoyles here and here.
Whoa, okay. Okay. And the gargoyles that are here have flower garlands.
Yeah. Do you
Did the
remember
gargoyles who are...
the ones you fought didn't have flower garlands? Did the ones that were still left over at that didn't come to life in the square, did they have flower garlands? I don't even remember.
I don't know. I didn't really look at it.
No.
So you think that maybe they got angry and got alive because they didn't get flower garlands?
Yeah, I mean that would
Yeah.
make me attack the festival if all the other gargoyles got flower garlands and I didn't get a flower garland. I'd be like, mate, where's my flower garland?
Yeah, especially because somebody would have come up here and give the other flower garlands, then maybe give the other 2 gargoyles like a look and just climb down again.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, plan. We should go round the rest of the city, check in to see if the rest of the gargoyles have flowers or not.
Yes.
Maybe we should put flowers on the other gargoyles if they haven't got any, just in case. And we need to find this Ebba Silverbow person too.
That seems very reasonable. Very reasonable.
We go back downstairs. We're totally confident. We got a plan. We know exactly what's going on.
Okay.
We've worked it all out. Yeah.
I would
We'll
like
be
to
dead in
just
5
not go
minutes.
downstairs. I would like to just flit over to the next roof and check the gargoyles there.
There are no gargoyles on this next roof. There are gargoyles on some of the buildings, not all of them. So they're common enough that you know some places where they are, but they're not like every person had a gargoyle, which is probably a good thing based on the attacks from last night. So yeah, like the temple had gargoyles. You know that the city gate had gargoyles, things like that.
Okay, well, if I see a building with gargoyles, I'm going to check if they have the markings and if they have a flower garland.
Okay,
So
and
just
the
alert
other
me if I
three
have
of you
theirs
who
one.
are bound by the ground, are you heading toward? Where are you heading towards? Once now that you all have your various magical things, if you're going to, are you going to look for Ebba Silverbow? I guess is the question.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'll also tell them the plan of because the guy said Ebba was going to be around the walls or whatever. So we're going to encounter more gargoyles and we might as well check them out as we go. So I tell them of our amazing new plan that Regina and I have come up with.
I support Weddle.
Okay.
It sounds like a decent plan.
Weddle
Find
feels
Ebba's,
very supported.
Check other gargoyles in the area as we make our way towards the walls.
I'll be studying my scroll whenever we get a moment. It's going to take 2 hours to decipher.
Okay. And is that basically require no other work? Like, does the cipher require basically like 2 hours of uninterrupted type of thing?
That's a good question. Hold on.
Well, we're here for the next 2 days at least, so there'll be a rest.
As you're looking that up.
Oh,
yeah. Go ahead.
I have to make an actual test. 1 second. Yeah, so it's a test. So it's probably going to have to be uninterrupted study
like during like a short rest, maybe, or something
Yeah.
like that. Okay. So where are you folks going to try to find Ebba?
Or the
I assume the city walls, because did they not say that Ebba was near the city walls?
Might be. Yep.
Might be. It's good. It's a good place to start, I think.
yeah, the city gates in the city walls, so that might be a starting point.
Okay. I'm trying desperately not to say these city walls, but I still haven't found Ebba Silverbow. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. Our spare troll. Did we shake our spare troll down for cash?
So he had gone back to be with his own group just for the night, but you were able to meet up with him again though. And that would be up to what Weddle and the rest of you decided if you wanted to meet up with him. He's basically just been hanging with his troll people, but will return to join you if you so wish.
I see.
I might as well have him join us. I do have a question.
Okay.
So once a day, I can increase my loyalty by 1 by doing a 1-hour jam session, right?
Mhm.
But I'm wondering if that one we had inside the battle, I know it wasn't an hour, but it was like so good. We were totally insane. We had this super inspiring song during a battle with gargoyles, and it was rock music, and it was rocks, and
it was really awesome. But I think that since we're talking about a battle which was about 10 minutes in length, not an hour, that despite how badass it was, it's probably not in the same ballpark, I would say. Part of what you're doing with this is sort of learning to write music together. There's sort of a common element of, wow, but I could make the argument that he's like, Jesus, I hang around you people and I get stone rained down on me and like trolls plummet to the ground and impact the earth and stuff. But doesn't do that because he's so impressed with how badass you are as a musician. So I think it probably evens out, I would say. And thus I wouldn't call this enough for a jam session. Although, again, you could also like, when people are going somewhere, you could say, I'm going to go take an hour, go hang out with Eridan and like, go, I don't know, like write out the guitar tabs for the latest song or whatever. Like you could totally do that.
yeah, with all the work going on in the city around, Quaddle is feeling a bit inspired to maybe go and jam. We built this city.
The city on stone gargoyles. All right, so you can do that. Although, are you doing that before the walls, or are you going to do that after the walls?
I'll do it after the walls.
You do it after the walls. Okay. All right. So remind me though when we get there, and we will talk about that. Okay. By the way, cat notification. I was about to put my rule book down next to me. The other cat has now elected to lie down in the spot where I almost put the rule book. So I now have one cat behind my chair, and the other cat has now, in the flanking position, made it so that I can neither move my chair nor put my books anywhere. So I guess my books are going to be hovering for the rest of this session because I have no idea where I'm going to put them. So this is the update in case anyone was curious. Okay. As you head over to the walls, again, you see more kind of signs of the battle from last night. There are, again, many overturned carts, although fewer of them now. You can see a few people that are out on the streets kind to scrub the road and stuff like that. You can see an increased guard presence for sure, increased city guard presence, but not nearly as many people as would be expected for the Festival of Strangers, perhaps understandably. People seem to be kind of staying at home after the incidents of last night. But you are able to find... after some time, you are able to make it when you get to the city gate. You can see that just to the west of the city gate, you can see a stout dwarven woman with a golden ponytail and thick spectacles who's kind of peering up in the wall. And one of the guards basically sends you in her direction, is like, yeah, like, you know, that's where she is, you know, and you can find her over that way. And she's peering at one of the, like a small, like, crack in the wall and shaking her head and kind of muttering to herself as she makes note on a scroll with a quill as you walk up to her.
Hey,
Huh? Oh, aye. Yes, what I do for you?
we're looking into this business with them gargoyles and stuff. We was told maybe you'd know what's going on.
Me? Oh, well. And she kind of pauses and she says, well, I mean, I just made the sculptures, you understand. I mean, there's no magic in them, or at least there never used to be. I'm just carving them, you understand.
All right. Were they all carved the same way, same tools, in the same place? You know, you didn't change workshops halfway through and, you know, carve half of them on some ancient burial ground or something?
No, I can't say as I have. They're pretty much the same thing that there's always been. I mean, I don't much like carving gargoyles in the first place. If it wasn't that Orzer had asked me to make some, well, I wouldn't have bothered to do it. I have no love for gargoyles, but for him, well, I was willing to make an exception and carved a few around the city.
How many exactly? Could you give me a number?
Oh, probably, and she kind of thinks a little bit, probably 20 or so, I'd guess.
20. Have you done a Raki round and seen how many of them came to life and caused destruction and all that?
And she nods, and she says, yes, unfortunately. There's a number of them that did damage, although it doesn't look like too many people got hurt, but even a couple. And she kind of sighs and shakes her head, and she says, they're foul creatures. It's nightmares come to life, I tell you. The last thing that you'd want is gargoyles attacking anything around you.
So, circling back, you know, yeah, injury's really bad. I lost my tooth. Thankfully, we managed to put it back in.
Oh.
But have you had to go round and seen how many of them exactly are missing now?
Well, probably about, well, a good number. Maybe 70-75% of them, I'd say. Most of the ones I made seem to have been involved somehow, but I've already been cleared by the city's wizards. They confirmed I didn't know anything about it, and I don't. Except I do feel bad about it. The last thing I want is my things hurting anyone, and my statues hurting anybody, and especially not gargoyles, and she shudders.
Yeah, I feel you. So, and then the old signature on the right heel, was it?
Oh, yes. That's my own mark. Yeah, it's my artist mark. I always put it on the right back heel.
On the right back heel. And there's every single one, right back heel, all the same.
Aye, that's right.
All right. Well, lovely craftsmanship. Sorry that it's ended, this way with a bunch of them attacking people. A bit awkward, but yeah, really great. I gave one an egg. Anyone else got any questions?
She, like,
for
blinks.
Emma?
Any bad magic used?
To make gargoyles?
Well, they came to life.
I don't understand why. I had a
Did you
dream
maybe
about...
use?
Oh, go ahead.
Did you use a magic stone? Because I have heard there are magic stones around.
No, not a magic stone. I just, I had a dream about him last night, actually. It was as much people tell me as it happened last night, actually. I mean, in my dream, there were horrible creatures flying all around the city, attacking everyone and everything they saw, and then I wake up and find that that's exactly what's happened. Ugh, foul things.
Whoa, I just had a thought. Right? Sorry, Emma. So you're not cool with gargoyles, right? And you had a nightmare about gargoyles because you're
Aye.
afraid of them, and then it came real. What if everyone's nightmares are coming real? I mean, just yours for now, but what if someone else's nightmare comes tomorrow? Because I've got a brand new nightmare that involves straws, and I really don't want that one to come real for everyone. So I just never sleep again.
I would stay awake.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sleep now anymore, ever.
And she kind of she sort of shakes her head and she says, that's terrible. If that's true, it means that any of us, whatever we dream... And she kind of shakes her head. That would be awful. And then
We're cursed!
she says, and she kind of puts her hand to her neck, and then she sort of feels around for something, and she says, well, that's, it's funny. On the evening of the attack, I was wearing this necklace, and there was like a small little talisman, you might say, around my neck. But it was given to me by a stranger for the Festival of Strangers. It looked like it was made out of, painted wood or something like that. I didn't think much of it. It was just a minor thing. I thought it might give me good fortune. And I did have that.
Did you lick the wood?
And she says, did I lick the wood?
Did
No, it's a
you
classic
lick
mistake. There's no shame. We've all done it.
No, I didn't lick the wood.
Right. Well, where's the necklace now?
Oh, well, I gave it this morning away to, what was it, a gladiator that I passed before breakfast near the armory. What was her name? Leonore. Aye, she was tall and golden-haired and powerful. I wish I were like her. I could have fought against those gargoyles last night.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
Is anyone wondering now, what would a cool gladiator be afraid of? I don't want to know.
That's assuming it's not been passed on to someone else already.
All right,
Maybe she
well,
has really good dreams about winning stuff.
Yeah, are people still doing the festival gift exchanging?
Yes, although it's very slow. There's a couple people walking around, but obviously much more muted. Hi,
all right.
Infinity.
Where did you last see Leonore?
Oh, it was near the armory, actually.
Near the armory.
She gave me, and she kind of reaches in her pocket, this handkerchief, and I thought, oh, well, here, and I gave her the talisman. That's the way it works. She said she liked the look of it, and, well, she was strolling down the street. I mean, it couldn't be any harm, could it?
No.
Oh, it could.
No, everything's fine. You've done nothing wrong. Everything's fine. Just go about your day and maybe never sleep again.
You have no idea of the horrors I fight back in my graveyard.
She kind of was I'm sorry. And she
Apology
kinda
accepted. We're all healing. We're all moving on. And we're
Ghosts
literally
and
moving
spirits.
on. Coincidentally, we're going to go to the
The
armory
wrestler's
now.
dead.
she's like Homer Simpsoning back into the crack in the wall, just like.
Reginald just lost his plot completely.
Bye, Emma.
And she's
Rushing Reginald away.
yeah, as Reginald is just babbling while Eva sort of stares after you, looking at this. And I think as the camera pulls back while you are all rushing Reginald away, perhaps we see one image of the face of a stone gargoyle, still stationary and not moving, leering as Reginald and the crew passes underneath with the egg in it. That's right. And then the tame griffin breaking out of it. No, that doesn't happen. And that's where we're going to bring our session to a close. I promised I was going to close things down as close to 7 as I possibly can. But yeah, it should be fine. Now you just have to track down someone who had this given to her. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, I know.
I know this one.
I have a list.
This was a lot of fun, folks. I'm actually very excited to see more of the mystery get unraveled as time goes on. And you were pretty badass with the combat as well. I mean, we had a couple of misses, like, troll meteors plunging into the earth and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think people had some good combat synergies. Again, Cloak of Shadows doing work. Regina kicking a bunch of ass. The lightning bolts was doing work. It's just, not as bad. And of course, the classic Gust of Wind, which is the never fail, thing, which always works all the time. Now you just have to go track down this thing, which is probably completely unrelated to all the nightmares coming true of these creatures. And do so before... Oh, and did I mention, by the way, it was morning after all of the various stuff that's been done. It's probably right around midday. Just saying the sun is about, midway through the sky as it's passed from the morning up to the midday. And, you have some hours of light left. So it should be
6
fine.
hours remain.
Dawn of the final
before the
day.
dawn happens. Let me start at the bottom of the column. As always, Bruce, it's always a delight to hear and watch you play Huedel, who has a real, I think, understanding of stuff. The thing with the tooth and the whole mending the tooth was just tremendous. The whole dentist sequence was great. And I loved your reactions to just be like everything being like a straw sucking up, this thing sucking up, this thing sucking up was pretty much. Thank you, Mac Daddy, for the 100 share. We appreciate it. All that was just like, that was absolute just chef's kiss. Very good. Although there wasn't as much that you could do combat wise, you did get that Cloak of Shadows onto Lump at great cost to your personal, to your face, specifically to your teeth. So it all worked out in the end. And I can't wait to see what Huedel's going to do. Also, that persuasion was a big deal on Ozer so that you could get some of those magical items as well. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
That was a really fun session. I really enjoy playing Huedel. And I like playing in this group as well. We get to do... it's midnight. It's okay. All my hue lights turn off through the whole house at midnight.
You willingly do that to yourself? You really do. You willingly
I'm normally
do
in bed by 10.
Okay,
this is
well...
if you forgot to turn the kitchen light off, I've got you, pals.
I see.
Okay.
We're going to need to set you a reminder during these sessions.
Set me a reminder at the start of the session. Turn off that automation. It was really great. And just really fun that we can sort of go off on our little tangents. And sometimes, when you sign a campaign and there's like the whole setting, there's things about the environment, like the whole giving away things, and you're there like, I don't see how this is going to tie in, but it's going to tie in. And now I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the campaign mechanic. We're going to go on a goose chase. Oh, so and so gave it to me this morning, and then I gave it to that person over there, and then that person over there, and we just got to kind of work out who's got the talisman before nightfall.
Just wait till the only thing that can counteract the talisman is the egg, and you're like, God damn it! You're like running back to go find the egg in the thing. But yes, I had fun with that too. Where will the folks see you next time?
Pretty much the only place you'll see me at the moment is in the comments of Peripheral Mike streams. And generally being very frightened by everything. I'm super focused on my writing my novels at the moment, so everything else is just like doesn't exist.
I hear that. Yeah, good luck on all the meetups and all that kind of thing. Always a pleasure, Bruce. Good stuff tonight, and please give a pet to those awesome dogs of yours. Moving right on up the line as the light has returned. Mike, great stuff from Lump as well. Of course, we had the Lump meteor that we talked about was tremendous, but also the ghost punching gloves was not something that I was expecting to be looked for, and it did definitely make sense, and it wouldn't have been possible cost-wise if not for Weddle's bargain/persuasion. So there was again good synergy there. But it is interesting because that is sort of the thing that Lump felt most keenly, was that he couldn't really help in a scenario like that, and Lump does not like feeling like he can't help in those scenarios. So that I thought was interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see, I think, how Lump handles not just that, but also this chase to find the talisman, back and forth across the city before some other nightmare comes to life. So that's going to be fun. And by the way, very appropriate for the Halloween setting that we're talking about, I think, for the Halloween time of year. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
As always, I absolutely adored this session. It was so funny. My face still hurts from laughing so much earlier. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and just be like, why does my jaw hurt? Why does my face hurt so much?
Because
it's
straw, because alcohol.
So good. It really is. But as always, I adore it. I try and bring a little bit more life to Lump with every session. I try and make him. I'm not trying to make him complicated, but I'm trying to make it so at least people will understand he's not just. I didn't pick that character through lack of creativity. There's an actual character and a story behind that person. So there's some things. One of his key worries is not being able to protect those he loves for various reasons, and that's one of the reasons why he wanted something to help with ghost enemies, because that's the most useless he's felt in a long time. He's like, right, well, I don't want to feel like that anymore. So but yeah, super excited for the next session. Super excited to play Ghost of Saltmarsh with everyone as well. But if you want to check out my silly voice and face, you can check me out on my own channel, twitch.tv/peripheral mic, where this weekend we're having a bumper stream weekend. I'm going to be streaming for 6 hours on Friday, 6 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday, and 3 hours on Monday, because I still got work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're going through our annual retro horror streamathon. We do it every year now. This year is Resident Evil. So I've been playing through Resident Evil 1. We're
Nice.
halfway, 2/3 of the way through Resident Evil 2, all on original hardware.
Blood, Barry, blood.
Resident Evil 3.
Tremendous voice acting of that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the voice acting is absolutely on point. You just like, I love that in the credits in Resident Evil 1, they just have the character and the first name of the voice actor. You don't get a surname.
Yeah,
before surnames existed.
No.
There's like, you get the impression they're just like, I don't really want my surname associated with this.
Let's get Bob from accounting. He knows, like,
Yeah,
blood,
okay
Barry,
with it.
blood.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be it for myself. So huge streams this weekend. I'm really looking forward to it because horror games and retro horror games, everyone does horror games on Halloween, so we thought we'd do things a little bit differently. So if you want to check that out, check it out. After that, after Halloween, we're going to be returning to normal form, where we're going to be playing the weirdest indie horror games I can dig out of itch.io and other places. So yeah, looking forward to that. But as always, stay safe, stay spooky, and I'll see you next time.
Good stuff. Thanks, Mike. Always a pleasure. Moving right on up the line, it is also a pleasure, as always, to have had Darksaber playing Reginald Shun. Again, the lightning bolt definitely made sense, and I love the Reginald's the thing at the end. We're just being like the spirits of the dead, where Reginald's just like, you are not prepared. I am the prophet. That whole thing at the end.
There's a talisman on the loose.
Yeah,
Flee.
exactly. Like
Again.
God damn it with these talismans. Yeah, it's very much like tracking down every monkey's paw that exists. It was very fun to see Reginald going through that, and then again, of course, Reginald's looking at like the scrolls and all that stuff in the Magic Emporium, to get that thing like a counter spell probably worked out pretty well in the end, I think, based on a spell that has some value once you're able to actually decipher it. Don't let me forget that when we do that short rest, we'll need to do that. And we'll see what happens, since now that a talisman is involved, we are more in Reginald's wheelhouse, or at least so it seems. Reginald can't seem to get away from these. It's amazing, isn't it? Like, we can't seem to get away from talismans in general. It's like
It's like Murder She Wrote, but for talisman collection. Wherever I go, a talisman appears.
Exactly. There's some thematic component there that I'm not quite getting. How'd you feel about
supposed to be rare?
Yeah, I know, it's true. It's
Right?
true. It's
Lousy
rare
with
for
the
everybody
fuckers.
but the people who are always finding talismans. It's amazing.
Exactly, right?
If we were trying to get into the tower to finish a board game, we wouldn't find a single one.
No, exactly.
Exactly.
But now, since you don't care about that, they're just like giving them away like candy. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Like Mike said, I actually have a sore face for laughing so much as well. It's it was a tense start because right, we're in a fight.
Right.
They're gargoyles. This could be tough. Oh, they kind of weren't.
No, because you just obliterated them with a couple of
Yeah.
major rolls. Like, I mean,
Yeah. I was expecting. Well, yeah, gargoyle fight. We fought them in games before. We know what they're usually like.
yeah.
But then again, they were non-corporeal and possibly some kind of summon. So
Mhm.
we will see about that. But yeah, just the dentistry, impromptu dentistry, just in the middle of the town square. Sure, why not?
The sucking the spit through the straw was the best part.
Yeah, I've definitely got some mental images out of tonight. So thanks. But
Thanks, I
as
hate
for
it.
me, yeah, exactly right. But as for me, I'll be back if you want to see me some more. I'll be back here tomorrow. I'm going to be playing a bit of Planescape Torment because it's been a while since I got back to that. I've been
great game.
chipping away at that off and on. It really is, yeah. And I'll be also doing the horror thing for the next few days. I'm going to be starting a playthrough of The Quarry on Thursday. We're going to be doing the Deep Rock Galactic Halloween event on Saturday to get the scariest mask that was ever conceived.
I see. I was going to say, I was like, how
Rock
is that
Bags will know-
combining?
It's a Deep Rock player in joke, but
I see.
but yeah, and possibly a bit of Silent Hill 3 if I can find some time for it.
Oh,
Good stuff on all levels. Good stuff. Thank you, Saber. Good work today. Thanks again for Dashboard and Moobot and all that. And looking forward to more on both that and both this and Saltmarsh as well in the near future. Last but certainly not least, yeah, Pyron, the sucking the spit from a straw thing, I think, was kind of the highlight for me. I was just like, not at all what I was planning on, that we had an impromptu, dental visit in the middle of the whole thing. It was tremendous. And I love the image of that plus a bunch of alcohol while somehow carrying the tactician's book. That's like the tactician's book with which Regina's like, I am now a genius. I am now Lao Tzu because I have this book and I can it was really, really fun. And also Regina was kicking a lot of ass with the gargoyles, just wiped out one of them basically by herself, or close to by herself. So a lot of good stuff that we got from Regina as a fighter, and then also as a tactician and as a dentist assistant. Who knew? How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
A highlight for me was totally that Regina had an extraordinary success on noticing something.
Yes, that was huge.
Suddenly.
Yes.
I felt that was character progression in action.
Yep. Yep.
Regina wait a minute. These things.
These
really
things are
like that.
not. What I love about it is these things are not actually living, or they're not here, and everyone's just yeah, they're not here. But no, I have noticed something. You're we know you've noticed. No, but really.
And I'm very sorry about the straw thing. I have to say, I am very, very much afraid of everything dental related. Very much so. I'm kind of surprised I was actually able to make this joke. And if somebody in chat was completely turned out of it, I apologize. I know this is a difficult topic, and I'm just there with you. And when will the wonderful people see me next? I actually don't know. I was thinking about trying to get a Halloween stream in, but my kids are on autumn vacation. Everything is really, really busy, so I'll have to see that about that. But maybe, we'll see.
Possibly, maybe. Well, regardless, it was good to have you here, Pi, and it was good to have everybody here doing their awesome stuff. Chat, can we get some love for the amazing players? You will see Pyron J, Darksaber 2K, and Peripheral Mike next month with both Talisman and with Ghosts of Saltmarsh, and you will see Bruce back here with Talisman again as we continue our search for the Talisman to end the Nightmare Invasion. Again, thanks to Pyron J, Darksaber 2K, Peripheral Mike, and Undeveloped Bruce. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you lovely players soon, by which I mean don't forget to check Discord for the other thing we talked about that we can't talk about yet, right? That thing. Okay. The bye for now. All right. That is going to do it for the players, and that's going to do it for us here. This was great, really great fun, and I was very, very happy that we were able to get back on the wagon with this because it had been so long. Like, I was just looking at it being like, God almighty, like, we have really not played in a long time Talisman Adventures, so I'm glad that we were able to get that back in. Again, many of you may remember that the plan here is once we wrap up this adventure, that will also wrap up the Talisman Adventures campaign, and we'll then be moving to Ghosts of Saltmarsh twice a month. So that is our plan for what we're going to be doing down the line. I also have to say here, let's see, where do I have do I have it here? Hold on. Oh, I have to go one above. There we go. So yeah. So right now I want you all to see. So remember, I had this all placed properly, right? Okay. Here's Sherbert. The reason the camera looks so bad is I have the exposure up because I don't have the lights on in my office. And the reason I don't have my lights on is because I can't move right now, because here to the left is Sherbert, my cat. And there behind, where is it? Where'd you go? And there is the other cat. And please note that the other cat is also behind the chair. That's Ganesh. So between Ganesh and Sherbert, there we go. And Sherbert, oh my gosh, there we go. Between Ganesh and Sherbert, I can't really move too well until after this one. I'm going to have to step over them. As you can see, wow, Sherbert is pretty adorable. You can see that Sherbert is a very serious cat. I just want you all to know that. Sherbert is super serious. You can tell Sherbert is not to be mocked. Sherbert is a fierce, fierce beast. And, very much a fierce beast is what we're looking at with Sherbert. Anyway, I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed Cat Cam. If so, I hope that you were able to, let's drop that back down. Right. And with that, and we'll move that, and we'll move that brightness down to a normal level. Okay. But I hope you enjoyed that and the little look into. I have a feeling the cats are going to make more of an appearance now. I don't know how much more of one, but they have been hanging out with me all day today as I've been streaming, so I'm not going to complain. Oh, good. Awesome, Mrs. Dunsel. Thank you for letting me know. I'm glad that you got it and that it's all arrived, and I hope you enjoy. But thank you very much for letting me know. Otherwise, though, that's going to be it for me. I am going to be back on my channel at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight when I am going to be playing more of what is a true legal simulation, and that is Apollo Justice Ace Attorney with our vocalist voice team. So I will be joined, as always, by KP, by Rem Alternus, by Zach Clay, and by Indy as we play through Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. This may be the last session of Apollo Justice. It's either going to be this or next month, and then once this is over, we have our big Christmas Carol event that we do every year, which is going to be coming up in December. That's going to be really exciting. So yeah, I'm super excited for the Our Vocalist tonight. And again, that will be at 9 p.m. Eastern. As far as what we've got going on this channel, let me see. Kilgore is going to be joining to play the Elder Scrolls 4 in about 2 hours and 45 minutes, which means you can come over to my channel at 9 o'clock and you can watch Apollo Justice. And then at 10, you can head over and continue to watch Apollo Justice and also watch a little bit of Kilgore playing some Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which you can do tonight. I will not be on this channel next week. I will be on my own channel earlier in the day playing my Chat Chosen Game of the Month and then doing a tabletop game called Negocios Infernalis by my friends Carlos Hernandez and CSE Cooney. They're in the midst of a Kickstarter, a very successful one, which will be wrapping up in a couple of weeks, and so I'm going to be doing something with them. And then at about 5:30 to 6 o'clock, I'm going to be, when I would normally be here, I'm going to be out trick-or-treating with my kids and or giving away candy to other people coming to the house. And then in the evening, I will be back here, or back on my channel, I should say, Tuesday night for my annual Edgar Allan Poe reading. readings. So you will not want to miss that. That's going to be a good time. And then the week after that, for those of you who missed this, November 7th, I'm doing the release stream here of Tintin Reporter Cigars the Pharaoh. So we're going to get some Tintin Reporter Cigars the Pharaoh. Very excited to get a Tintin video game that I'm able to actually do a release stream for, because I love Tintin and I'm excited to be able to do a stream for it. So that'll be good times. And then we'll be back to Talisman Adventures, which we'll have next month, and also more Ghosts of Saltmarsh towards the end of next month. So should be a good time. But that's going to do it for me for now. If you like what you saw and heard, please follow the channel. Please subscribe to us here on GogCom's Twitch channel. And please consider clicking through and checking out our channels, because we all have our own individual channels and Patreons and subsystems and things like that. And that definitely would support us as well. Exactly, the Arvton Reporter. But that is going to do it for now. Thank you all for being here. Thanks so much, especially tonight, to my players, to Pyron Jade, to Darksaber2K, to Peripheral Mike, and to Undeveloped Bruce. And thank you to all of them for giving the most memorable dentist experience that I've ever found. That is definitely something that will stick with me in a lot of ways. Straw. Anything. That's it for me. Thanks, everyone. Much love. Stick around for Kilgore in a few hours. Stop by my channel at 9 p.m. Eastern for Apollo Justice. And I'll see you folks back on this channel with me in 2 weeks when I will be back over here for some Tintin Reporter Cigars of the Pharaoh. Until all of that, everyone, please be good to each other. And bye for now.